listening back. And if you're listening back to this, I'm gonna say the word waffle again. And you may tell me in the comments, how do you like your waffles? Of course, plant-based. Gonna have to apply some sunscreen also. Been all over the place, everyone, all over the place. Hey Gumli, nice to see you. Okay, trying to set up my station over here. Burnt, yeah, I have some sunscreen I need to apply. But before that, let me just set up everything. Okay. Okay, I think that's it. Hey Marcus, hey Mr. Manx. Nice to see you here. Oh, damn it, I need to get the sunscreen. Ha, I got it without any problems. Yeah, it's the heat is coming. Need to apply sunscreen, sorry everybody. Sunny Ireland, that's cool. Hey Jennifer. How long am I going to be streaming today? 2 hours, maybe 3. I don't know, something like that. Okay, we applied the sunscreen on the body. Now let's get the one for the face. That's it, we're done everybody. I'm sorry to bring you here live while I'm doing this. That was not my intent. I actually also forgot to eat before leaving home. Well, that's because it's just been kind of a busy day.
It's straight. Okay.
Okay, we are all oiled up. Am I in the Netherlands? Yes, I am. Okay, so 4 minutes and I'm done, and 90 minutes I have to reapply, sadly. Yo, what's up, compassionate people? Hey, Dandelion Gum, nice to see you. It's 61 degrees where I live. I don't know what that is in Celsius. It's 19 degrees today, Celsius. I'm assuming that's kind of similar to 60. I don't know. It's a really good weather to be outside, to be honest, but it's also gonna get warmer and warmer. Warmer and warmer. No, warmer, I said. Yeah. I was in the Discord today having conversations for a second. The Discord conversations are always so intense, aren't they? Hey, what's
German or English?
English?
English, okay.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Okay, yes.
You wanna come
My
here?
English is not so good.
It's okay. You wanna come here
okay.
to interview? What's your name?
My name is Sven.
Sven. Nice to meet you. I'm Chip.
Chip?
Yeah, Chip.
Chip.
Yeah.
Chip, okay.
You're from Germany, as
Yes,
far
from
as I
Germany,
understand.
yes.
Okay, okay. I'm from Romania originally, but I live here.
Okay.
So let me ask you, Sven. I'm an animal rights activist.
Yes.
Do you think animals deserve rights?
Say again. I say
Sure. Do you think animals deserve rights?
deserve. What is deserve? To kill animals?
Should they have rights?
So yes, yes, sure. They have. Yes.
Yeah. What rights should animals have?
The same rights that people have as a human.
Okay. So they should have the right to their body and their life, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Do you think that in animal agriculture, animals are that their rights are respected there?
Animal what? Animal
Agriculture.
agriculture. Agriculture. What is this of German? The rights agriculture. I
Yeah,
don't
like
know what-
for farming.
Oh, okay.
Do you think the animals that we farm, are their rights respected?
It's a difficult. It's a difficult to explain it in English.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it's too difficult for me.
No, that's okay. Let me just
to
give you a
answer.
card, then maybe
Yes.
it will help you out to see what I mean. You just gotta scan this QR code and watch the minion. It has German subtitles also. Okay.
Okay.
It should appear already in German and everything, and you know what I mean specifically.
Okay. Now.
No, not now.
Oh no. Okay. okay,
Whenever
okay,
you want,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Okay. I appreciate you stopping by, and I don't know. Have an awesome day.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye. At least, yeah. At least he was honest that the English thing wasn't so well, so we didn't stay in too much with them. That's good. Bro looks 14 at 50. 14 and 50 at the same time. Did he? I thought he looked maybe like 40. Between 30 and 40, something. 30 and 50 maybe, yeah. Yeah, it's difficult to say because he's dressed like a young person, but then his skin did not seem like a young person. But that's okay. It's okay. Let's see. Maybe that was a pretty quick stop anyway. So, yeah. Kuka. Hey everybody. Have a wonderful cruelty-free vegan Wednesday afternoon. Hell yeah, that's a best greeting. Will he go protest to wild animals to not eat humans? I would if I could, and if they had options. But you don't. But you have options, and you understand me. So it's kind of weird to use them as your justification for committing horrific things. But that's what people do whenever they're pressed in a corner. Whenever they realize that they're doing something immoral, they will act out, and they will start coming with all sorts of ridiculous justifications like, what about the animals? What about wild animals? Well, come on. Gia says, can you speak to animals? Exactly my point. Thank you for proving my point. I cannot speak to animals, and thus I cannot convince wild animals to stop killing animals. And also, they don't have options. You, on the other hand, you can hear what I say. You can think logically about what I say. You have options, and yet you still choose to oppress innocent animals. So maybe stop oppressing animals. Kevin J says, Chip, can I recommend you one thing? I think you can. As long as you don't get offended if I don't follow your recommendation, sure, you can. Try hard to remember when people's names when they come to talk to you. Yeah, I'll work on that. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for that. That's a very good point. Very good point. Happy Pride. Happy Pride indeed. That's awesome. Happy Pride. Pride. Awesome. We need more of that. We need to respect individuals. And yeah, this is a month to do that, right? Hi.
Hi.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Can you
You're
come
okay
closer
with
so
my
that you're
English? Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. What's your name?
My name is Diana Lorena.
Diana Lorena. I'm Chip. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Where are you from?
I'm from Colombia.
Colombia. Nice. Oh, I just came from speaking to a Colombian friend just now, so perfect.
That's nice. I think that we are social people.
Yeah, very social always.
Looks like.
She constantly was talking and I had to go, so I get that. Yeah. So say it again, Diana.
Diana, yeah.
Diana. So Diana, I'm an animal rights activist. Do you think animals deserve rights?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's like I'm also support that. I'm from Dilo Conciencia channel, Instagram channel, and I really support that.
Okay. So what rights do you think animals deserve?
Like almost the same as us.
Almost the same as us. So you would say that the bare minimum of the right to their own life and their own body is something the bare minimum we can give to them, right?
Yeah, at the end it's like I don't know, it's like could be a little bit different because they can ration it as much as us, but they deserve to be taken off. They deserve a place to stay everywhere they decide to stay. Obviously, food.
Do they deserve the right to not be killed by us?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Okay. Okay. So, do you think that there's industries that we humans have created that kill or exploit animals?
All of them, almost all of them.
Almost all of them. Are there any of these industries that you participate in and have options to not participate in?
Yeah, all the food industry for sure.
Exactly. And do you participate in that?
No,
You-
no.
no?
I'm vegan for almost 6 years.
Heck yeah. What made you go vegan?
I started being vegetarian when I was 15, so
Yeah.
a long time ago, because I love animals.
Yeah.
So that's the reason because I started. And 6 years ago, I became vegan because of health reasons. So
That's amazing. So, what is veganism to you? Because you said because of health reasons.
yeah, because it's like when you start like making some research, you are just realizing that we are the only mammals that still drink milk from. Yeah, it's like almost we are the only one that drink milk from another animal. Plus, it's like it is supposed that we just must drink milk during the first like almost 1-2 years,
Yeah.
but we just keeping it during our entire life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there are a lot of no worries.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, so too much hormones, antibiotics resistance, and all of that is for that.
Yeah, so by the way, just to be clear, I don't want to be pedantic here, but I want to be clear. Being vegan is about the animals. So the fact that a plant-based diet is healthy is it's just a coincidence.
plus.
Yeah, it's a plus, exactly. But veganism is about the animal rights. It's about their. So would you consider yourself vegan or would you consider yourself plant-based?
I think that I prefer to. I don't like labels.
Yeah,
Surely
fair
I
enough.
don't
Fair enough.
like.
It's,
Yeah.
it's just like maybe I'm interested more like, do you think that is there any reason? Because let's imagine that your plant-based diet maybe, so many people on this planet have tried it and they have not done it well. Maybe let's imagine that that happens. You're no longer feeling happy with it. Will you go back to animals?
Oh
being
no,
exploited?
definitely no.
No.
No way. No, it's like I already tried, and I think that the problem is that people make the change without a guidance or without enough knowledge.
Yeah.
So they just remove the animals from their plates, and that is not the way. We just need to replace all the protein. It's like not the proteins, but
I
yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah. So I'm a animal rights activist. As I said, I try to get people to go vegan. I try to get people to respect animals. But seeing as you're already doing that, that is awesome.
It's awesome. I'm really happy to come here. It's like I think that we should do something together. That will be awesome.
Do you speak for animals?
Yeah.
You do? You also do some form of activism?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah, in Colombia.
Oh, in Colombia?
Uh-huh.
Are you part of a group or something?
Yeah, we have a group, so we do this kind of experiments also, and also we try to teach the people. Yeah, because I have a yoga studio, so we try to teach the people there, is like, and make them feel the difference between a plant-based diet and the one that they are following right now.
Well, Diana, then I appreciate everything you're doing. It's awesome that you're vegan, and I wish you an awesome day. There's nothing more I can ask
Thank
of
you
you
so
because I just wanted you to go
much.
vegan, but you're already respecting animals, so that's all we want. Okay,
Awesome.
then.
Have a nice day.
Have an awesome
I
day.
hope that you're doing this for longer.
Yeah, for sure. Bye.
What is a social experiment?
Oh, I just asked you some questions. You want to try it?
Sure.
Are you okay being live on my YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Can you both come closer? Sorry?
Okay.
Okay, love it. What are you guys' names?
I'm Travis.
I'm John.
Travis and John from?
Tallahassee, Florida.
Tallahassee, Florida, in America.
Okay. I'm Chip. I'm from Romania.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
But I live here. Okay.
Awesome.
Travis and John. Okay. Travis and?
John.
John. Okay, I didn't get it wrong. I'm trying to remember names now. Okay, so Travis and John, I'm an animal rights activist.
Awesome.
And I ask people, do animals deserve rights?
Yes.
Yes.
What rights do animals deserve?
That's tough. Like,
Well,
to not be, I don't think they should be euthanized. I think
Okay.
that's wrong. Unless it's like, you know, like the disease, like if they're like dying, I think that's humane.
Unless
but-
it's in their interest, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Where in America, there's an issue with like overcrowding shelters.
farms as
Yeah. Breeding. I think that unethical breeding should be illegal.
Okay.
Actually, my family has a bunch of rescues from like the underground puppy mills where they get caught, and then you know they have nowhere to go. We take them in. So, yeah.
Well, I appreciate you saying all that. Are you vegan?
No, I'm not vegan.
Are you vegan?
no, I should be vegetarian, but I'm not.
Wait. So wait. First of all, why should you be vegetarian?
I read a really compelling paper. It's Peter Singer's Animal Liberation.
Yeah.
It talks about establishing, or rather, the distinction between the rights we grant to animals and the rights we grant to humans.
Yeah.
And there seems to be like a strange asymmetry that seems to function for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Were you here for him? Because he was here in Amsterdam.
No shit. Was he
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, he was,
I had no idea.
Yeah, he was here like 2 days ago. He had
Oh, there's
nothing.
no way I missed him. That's sick. I should have known that.
Yeah. But you said so many things, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, because you said animals should not be euthanized. I guess you've been killed, right?
Yes.
But I'm guessing if you're not vegan, you are paying for animals to
Yes,
get killed,
yes,
right?
yes.
So isn't that a bit hypocritical?
Yes.
Yes, and I could see it's hypocritical.
Yeah.
A lot of it, I will say. I mean, I guess it just comes down to like selfishness. Like
Yeah.
I like meat. I do try to get like, if you are trying to get meat, I think it should be the most humane as possible. If you
Well,
know,
the least cruel.
yeah,
you
the
know,
least
'cause
cruel.
it's not
Yeah, the
humane
least,
at all,
least cruel.
right?
That's a better way to say it, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you acknowledge, do you acknowledge that you have options and you don't need to pay for any of
Yes, I'm fine with eating like the vegan alternatives. Like
Yeah.
I'm not like I know people who are like just won't eat the vegan alternatives.
that? Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, I don't know if.
Something I'm interested in is we're seeing a lot of breakthroughs with like lab-grown meat,
Yeah.
which is something I'm really interested in. I think that's kind of in its infancy, but it's something I'd like to see more of because it would mean like actual real meat without any of the actual cruelty that comes with it.
Yeah, but like being vegan is not about the diet; it's about,
Yeah, it's about
respecting
the
the animals.
ethical-
right?
Yeah.
It's the ethical side of it. So let's talk about the dairy cows for a second, because
Okay.
you mentioned vegetarian, and vegetarians also pay
Yeah.
for dairy cows, right?
Oh yeah, dairy farms.
Dairy farms.
Yeah.
So what do you know about dairy farms?
I know that they just kind of keep them like locked up, and you know it's not really a good place for them to live. Like they're just kind of stuck in their like.
I mean, here in the
zone,
Netherlands,
yeah.
they don't really keep them locked up.
Yeah.
They're still on
I'm
the
thinking
field.
more
In
of
America, it's
America.
really
It's
bad.
bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
I
But
know-
why is it bad here? Like, let's take an idyllic situation. What do
I
you
know-
think happens in these situations?
I know at least in dairy farm, it encourages sort of like the systemic rape of dairy cows. Like they keep them pregnant.
They have to get them
Yeah,
pregnant
all the
yeah,
time.
Yeah, in order for them to have a baby.
Yeah.
right? So what
they
happens to
can
the
wean
baby?
I'd imagine it gets sold off to veal farms, which is also completely insane. Like keeping like a child equivalent
Yeah,
of an
veal
animal
is
in a
messed up.
tiny cage so it can't move, so the meat's tender.
Yeah.
They separate them from their mother.
Yeah,
first of all,
which is
so that they
also
don't drink the
horrible.
milk.
Yeah.
Because if they stay, they drink the milks, and yeah. And you're right. If they're born male, they
Off
kill
to
them
veal.
off or sell them for meat.
Yeah.
And if they're female, same fate as their mother. Every year impregnated, every year
Yeah.
baby stolen, exploited for milk. And do you know when they also kill them?
I do not. I would imagine end of life around, or rather when they're no longer able to be pregnant.
Exactly. When
Yeah.
they can no longer get them pregnant,
Yeah.
then they kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a pretty messed up way to
Absolutely.
right? And do you acknowledge that you have some responsibility for this happening?
Yeah, at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is keeping you from not paying for this? Because if your value is saying this, but then you do this, it's kind of
That's true. I would like to consume less dairy as a whole, especially because there's so many dairy alternatives that are as good, if not better. Also,
Yeah.
not even discussing the ethical considerations of dairy.
yeah, but less would still imply some, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and some cruelty is never
good.
Never good, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just like because if your concern is about how to do it, I can give you resources on how to do it, right?
Okay.
But I'm just curious about is it that your only concern how to do it, or is it because you understand the issue.
Yeah.
And we can't be ignorant towards the issue, or we can't be apathetic towards it,
No.
right? We gotta do something about it, because if you were in their shoes, you wouldn't want somebody to say, yeah, well, I'm gonna pay for humane slavery or stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I will say a lot of it, and like I'll just be straight up honest. Selfishness,
Convenience.
Convenience. You know what I mean?
But
Like,
that's
you know.
contributed to a lot of horrors.
and I'll say, I mean, like,
exactly.
like, yeah, selfishness.
Yeah, but that was in the past. It's just like,
Yeah, we have a lot of alternatives.
yeah,
now.
you have a lot of alternatives
Yeah.
now, and you can, like, I feel like the thing about it is, do you think your life is that much more difficult than, do you think I live my life in a difficult way?
No, right?
Like, do you think I have a difficult life?
No, and it's come a long way, like, from where it used to be to where it is now in terms of alternatives.
Yeah, the reality is, just like any change that you have in life, the thought of change is difficult.
Yeah.
But once you do it, it's the same. Like, I still go to a supermarket and I buy the products that I normally buy. It's
Yeah.
just that this time they're plant-based. They're
Yeah.
not. They're no longer exploiting
Yeah,
animals.
I mean, like I
It's a
said,
restaurant.
I have no problem eating plant-based. Like if I see a plant-based, like, alternative, sometimes I get it sometimes. Yeah.
But not sometimes.
Not
What is the
some-
moral?
yeah.
What is the moral? What is
That's
the
the thing.
moral motivation to ever choose an animal-based option?
It's not really moral. Sometimes in America, at least, sometimes it's a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I
true.
mean? Sometimes, I think once it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the price lowers and lowers, then I think we're gonna see a lot more vegans
Yeah,
pop
so-
up. I think that's probably one of my biggest things is in America, it's a lot more expensive.
So there's actually been 3 studies specifically done in America, UK, Australia, and Western Europe, like basically the industrialized nations. And in these studies, they show that actually a plant-based diet is up to 30% cheaper.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times, if you think about you're going to be replacing meat with the plant-based meat, then you probably end up more expensive. But most people, they eat a whole food plant-based diet,
Yeah.
and from time to time they eat these
Yeah.
plant-based alternatives, and they end up being cheaper. That's what I do personally, right? I eat a whole food plant-based diet, and when I'm lazy, I have these lazy options, which are not very healthy,
Yeah.
but I have them there, and
Yeah.
maybe they're a bit more expensive, but I have to have them always. And overall, I still end up paying considerably less money, right?
Uh-huh.
But again, if your issue is with how, I can give you resources with how.
Sure, yeah.
I'm just more than anything interested in how many more animals. This is the final and hard question.
Yeah.
How many more animals should be exploited for you before you change?
Hopefully none. None, ideally.
Ideally, I don't.
Ideally.
That's the thing, though. Like selfishness. Like I'm not gonna lie.
Don't
In
be
terms of
selfish.
me, yeah. In terms of me, I don't want to be. So as when it comes down to it, like I don't know. I mean, like that's the hard part. That's the hard question. You know what I mean?
Don't be selfish, Travis.
I-
Travis, you shouldn't be selfish, Travis. You seem
Yeah.
like a smart person. Pink Floyd t-shirts. I love Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Dark Side of the Moon is a great album.
Good album. That's the thing is, I don't want to be selfish. It's
Yeah.
more just like I'm trying to what's the word? Know myself and
Yeah.
try to be less and try to be less and less and less and less. It's not something that you can just be like, well, one day, you know what I mean? Not for me at least.
I mean, the way I see it, to be honest, if you do it less and less, I personally think it's more difficult. The reason for that is because you just always have this mentality of
Yeah.
change, which is
Yeah.
the difficult part. But if you just do it once, it takes maybe a period to adjust, but then that's it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe I
That's
should
it.
have nicotine as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it. Thank you guys for
Yeah,
stopping
thank
by.
you.
Lovely talk.
I'll just give you 2 cards,
Okay.
which will help you out. You have one thing here. If you scan this QR code called Challenge 22,
Okay.
they hook you up with a nutritionist and help you adopt a plant-based diet for free. That's all.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And I would urge you to watch one of the 2 videos on top. It's either Dominion or the most important speech you'll ever hear. I think you guys will really like the most important speech you'll ever hear.
Awesome.
You promise me you'll watch that?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
watch it.
appreciate
Thank
you
you, man.
guys.
This was good.
John
Thank you.
and Travis.
Yes, thank you.
No more animals exploited for you guys.
Alright.
You're compassionate and smart individuals.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate you. These are nice guys. Nice guys. We've had 2 for 2 so far, huh? Hey, Martin. Nice to see you here. Yeah, I like these 2 guys. I don't know how to tackle this whole. I don't think there's anything for me to say really when people are like, I'm just selfish or stuff, right? Like, it's a little bit of intellectual laziness, to be honest, right? Just saying, well, I'm selfish, therefore it's okay. It's not. We all know. He knew it wasn't, but It's you just do your best and hope that that it sticks, and maybe more exposure. That's also when time and time again when I say people vegans should be animal rights activists also, because like this person here, the more you expose them to this idea, the more they'll see like, well, shit, I really should do it. We're also sometimes we're just reminders for people. That's all we are. We're just reminders. You turn the reminder on, turn it off, right? So that's what we are. That's what I was to these two, because they clearly kind of knew most of it. I reminded them of the dairy industry. I reminded them of, well, that they can thrive. I don't know. Maybe I should have asked if they want to be part of the dairy industry. I'm not sure if I did that, but yeah. So when you gonna show us your workout routine, says Duck. Actually, Duck, I sent an email to my gym to see if I can do a live stream in there. In an off-peak hour, sometimes when there's no people or something, so that if they don't consent to being on the stream, they don't have to. And we'll see. I haven't received a response yet. But yeah, there's nothing particularly special about my routine. I mean, it frankly works extremely well for me. But the thing about it is that I just push myself. That's it. The reason why I built so much muscle, and I build muscle easily, is because I almost every day, almost every day I go to the gym, I reach RP 9 or even RP 10. So I just push myself, not every set, but at least once per exercise. So that's why. Long boy today, asks Linda. Linda, I don't know. I expect 2 hours, 2 hours and a half, something like that, between 2 and 3 hours. We'll see. Somebody said, I'm hungry now, might go eat a bacon and sausage sandwich. How about you eat a plant-based bacon and plant-based sausage sandwich? You're going to forget about how eating this sandwich felt for you just weeks, like 2 weeks from now, you're going to forget about this. But, all these beautiful sentient beings will have lost their lives for you. And, pigs are killed in gas chambers. They're literally put in gas chambers. So I don't know. You can always choose something else. And I bet you barely can tell the difference. Just like, the whole, I think, was it on Piers Morgan, where they brought this one guy to identify which one is the plant-based version, which one is the animal-based version. And he's like, without a shadow of a doubt, this is the animal-based version. And all of them were plant-based. That was so good. So yeah. Just, just respect animals. That's it. Somebody said we're going in the pits of hell and we're entitled. Gia, so you think we who are fighting for the rights of innocent sentient beings, we who decide to no longer oppress innocent sentient beings, we are the ones going into hell, but you who are actively choosing to oppress the most defenseless innocent creatures on earth, you think you're good, right? I would rather go to hell than be in the same place as you if you think that's good. Where's this at? We're in the Netherlands, we're in Amsterdam. This is a beautiful canal, as you can see. It's a pretty famous place. I think it's gonna be full of boats today and tomorrow. And, maybe with... Hi.
What's the experiment?
I just asked you some questions. You wanna try it?
Oh yeah, I want to try it.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yeah, sure.
Can you come close to that interview?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Vladlen.
Vladlim?
Yes.
Can I just call you Vlad?
Yes.
Okay, where are you from, Vlad?
I'm from Germany.
From Germany, okay. So I'm Chip, by the way.
Okay.
I'm an animal rights activist.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think animals deserve rights?
Well, yeah, I do.
What rights do you think animals deserve?
Excuse me?
What rights do you think they deserve?
Well, definitely more space when they're being kept. They should have more space, better food, no medication, stuff like that. Just those rights, basically.
Just those rights,
No,
just
like,
more space.
That's the most important part for sure. But like that quick, I now can't think. But more space, better food, no medication.
Should they have the right to their own life?
Yeah.
Should they have the right to live free of our intervention?
Well, free of our intervention, yes. I believe they should have those rights, yes.
Yeah, right, because they didn't get to choose to be born on this planet.
Yeah, it would be the right thing to give them those rights, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think that there's an specific industry that takes away all of these rights?
Yes, of course.
Well, which industry is that?
Well, the meat industry, all of them.
Exactly. Do you pay this meat industry?
Excuse me?
Do you give money to this industry?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Almost every day.
Okay, so if you think animals deserve the right to their own life or to live free of our intervention, then wouldn't you be going against your values when you pay for this?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so why not stop then?
That's a good question. I guess it just tastes good, but that's not a good argument, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I'm already thinking about eating less because just immediately not eating meat is a little bit hard. But I'm
Yeah.
trying to eat less, and maybe I'll stop in the future. I'm trying.
Yeah. But what, why in the future? Let me ask you this. I just put the hypothetical scenario out there. I'm assuming that you wouldn't eat dogs, right?
I wouldn't know.
No, but like if right now, tomorrow, so all of a sudden every meat you find in the supermarkets in Germany is coming from dogs, would you stop or would you buy dog meat?
That's a good question. I think I would stop.
You would stop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so why don't you give the same consideration to all the other animals, huh?
It's just so normal, basically. It's just
Yeah.
since we're on this planet, it's just so normal. It's just been put into our heads, basically.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, and I don't blame you for that, for it being normal.
Yeah.
Far be it from it. In fact, I a lot of the times I tell people that these industries, they pay large sum of money. They get money from governments. They use those money to pay other politicians so that they can get more money.
Yes.
And part of those money they also use to keep you in the dark about what they do
Yeah,
to
for
animals
sure,
and
of
all,
course.
right? So you should also have this incentive to not give them money specifically because they're being assholes towards you.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm already trying to buy meat where the animals lived a good life. So I'm not buying from the supermarket those $2 chickens or something. I'm trying to buy meat where I know that the animals actually lived a good life.
But wait, is it better to kill a happy animal or a sad animal?
Well, both isn't good, of course.
Yeah.
But it's a better feeling when you know that the animal had space and it lived a good life. That's a better feeling.
But you know that these are just like labels for consumers. Animals don't want to die, and they get killed still as babies, right? You know that, right?
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, like let's say chickens, for example. Chickens can live up to 10 years. Do you know at what age chickens are killed at?
I don't know.
42 days.
Oh, that's actually crazy, yeah.
Yeah, so in biological industry, they get killed, let's say 2 months, maybe not 42 days, maybe 3. But still, it's not even a year, not even 10% of their lifespan. Imagine that.
Yeah, that's actually crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I don't blame you for not
Yeah.
knowing. Again, like these industries, that's what they do. They don't want you to know any of this.
Yeah,
shit.
that's true.
So and nowadays they're even starting with, like, listen to this. They're starting to farm insects, so that they can feed to animals, so that chickens, for example, can grow faster, so that they can kill them even earlier.
Okay, they're definitely keeping that in the dark. I mean, you hear nothing about that.
No, but they already started doing that. They already
Yeah.
started in Germany and US. There's already, I think, a couple of companies that do that. So
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't hear about that.
I can give you resources to look into all of this, right? To get to more informed about the
Yeah.
matter. But like, if you were to ask yourself, how many more animals do you want to be exploited and killed for you?
Yeah, I mean, none, basically.
None,
That
yeah.
would be the best scenario.
What would you call a person that doesn't exploit or kills any animals?
A good person.
A good
Yeah.
person. But there's a specific
It's-
term, isn't there?
A vegan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Have you ever considered being vegan yourself?
I have, yeah. I also went vegan for 2 months. It wasn't that hard. And like I said, I'm considering just being vegan. I'm doing it again probably.
Yeah, so being vegan, by the way, is not a diet. It's specifically about the animals. It's
Yeah.
like feminism is for women's rights. Like, I don't know. I'm spacing out right now on another example, but like, it's a movement that it's speaking for animals, right?
Yeah.
It's about the animals, and being vegan literally is doing the bare minimum for them and not forcing them into slaughterhouses
Yeah.
and this kind of stuff. And if you're considering that's exactly what I want, and that's why I ask how many more animals, because if you said none, then it
That's
means you
true.
should go vegan sooner rather
Yeah,
than
I'll
later.
consider it. I'll look into it.
Okay, let me give you a card before you
Okay.
go. It's been nice talking to you, Vlad.
Yeah.
So one thing I recommend, if you scan this QR code, there's either Dominion or the most important speech you'll ever hear. Promise me you'll watch one of these two.
I'll promise you, yeah.
Okay,
I'll watch
okay.
it.
Just to learn about the industry, because that's first thing is to get informed.
Yeah.
Okay. And until you make a decision, are you gonna be plant-based until then? Until you watch that video, just do that.
Okay.
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 Okay, I appreciate you that. You have several resources to help you out.
Yeah,
with
okay.
that,
I appreciate you being nice about it.
Yeah,
Have a
yeah,
good day.
yeah. Have a good one, Vlad. Cheers. Yeah, everybody, we're being nice today. There you go. I don't know how long because I forgot to eat when I left home, so I'm the type of person who gets angry. But you know, we'll see. This guy was nice. He was respectful. He understood the point. He said he has to. I mean, again, at some point we have to realize there's nothing more we can do other than educate them and realize that they need to change. As much as we want to push them. You're big for a vegan. It seems hard to do that. No, it is not. And I'm not that big, by the way. I'm just like, I have a lot of muscles, but if you put me next to a person who uses steroids, like there's a person in my gym who uses them. If you put me next to them, I'm I'm tiny. Well, I'm not tiny, but I'm just like a regular person is next to me. I'm that next to them. As I said, I just train hard and eat a lot. Like yesterday, I had 5,000 calories. So. But I also burn a lot of calories throughout the day. Somebody said I love meat and chicken. Yeah, but it's not about what you love, is there? I don't doubt that you perhaps love the products that come out of the exploitation and slaughter of these innocent beings. It's more about respecting their rights, you know, like I'm sure you would probably love the products that could come also out of slavery, but that doesn't mean you should be supporting slavery, right? So yeah, that's the whole point about it. Respect everybody. It's not just about what you want and what you need, and if you are presented with the option, and if you have the option, which most people do, if you have the option to not oppress innocent, sentient beings, then don't do it. Somebody said I don't give a flip about animals. That's okay. I also was the same. I actually only started caring about animals after going vegan. But it's about caring about fairness and care about, justice. Do you care about justice? Are you a person who thinks we need to live in a just world, in a fair world? Because if you are, then you should be against the exploitation of innocent animals for optional products, because it's the most unjust thing to do. It's basically because the only reason we exploit animals is because we have the power to do so. That's the only reason. And because some people make money out of it. So it's kind of insane to defend that. We have the power over these innocent individuals. We make money from it, therefore we should continue doing it. I don't think you want to defend that. Just my opinion. You just got to be a normal, fair, just person. That's it. You don't have to care about animals. You don't have to care about anything else other than some form of fairness and living in a world where fairness is dictated. Somebody asked, isn't plant alive? Plants are alive, but plants are not individuals. You know that, right? Like, you may want to anthropomorphize a plant, and you may want to do that. But at the end of the day, plants do not have sentience. They do not have a subjective experience of the world. They do not have positive or negative valence emotions. So they're not individuals. Animals are individuals. Animals are like us. They're individuals just like we are. They feel pain just like we do. They don't want to die just like we don't. They have emotions just like we do. They have anxiety, hell, just like we do. So yeah, you should probably not do that to animals. And if you care so much about plants, let's imagine that you are one of those people, because so many people bring up this whole argument. No, there's no true plants are sentient. I heard plants scream. Well, they don't, first of all. But you can trust me. You don't have to trust me on this one. You can do your own research. In fact, there's a study called debunking. It's an article. It's not a study that looks into all these studies that claim plants have consciousness, and it's called debunking plant. You want to try it?
What's about?
I just ask you some questions. That's it.
Nederlands taal?
Say it again.
Dutch.
No,
Dutch?
English.
Only
Please.
English.
English.
They don't
If she
want-
doesn't want
sorry,
to try it, that's
sorry.
okay. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, it's called debunking the myth, plant consciousness. That's what it's called. And yeah, but let's imagine that you still are not sold and you think plants are sentient. We should be respecting plants a lot or whatever. That's okay. I try, and I fully respect if you think we should be respecting plants. In fact, I think we should be respecting plants too. But then you should also argue that if you want to respect plants, you should be killing as few as possible, and that would inherently imply a plant-based diet. it sounds counterintuitive, but the reality is when you consume animal products, you also pay for the endless amounts of plants that those animals have eaten to get to the weight or age that they are at, right? So if you were to only be eating the plants directly yourself, you would be getting more nutrition with less plants being killed. And when I say more nutrition, I do mean more calories, more protein. So yeah, that's it. Gia says, just stop eating, lol. Yeah, Gia, I don't know why are you being intellectually dishonest, and I don't know why you're so triggered, Gia, but, you know, I guess you might feel triggered because you're part of something that is absolutely horrific, and you're too lazy to change or something. I don't know what it is, but, we're here to respect animals' rights. We're here to respect animals, and if you don't like animals, if you don't like respecting animals, you're free to go. That's the beauty of these platforms. That nobody's forcing you to stay on a stream. Nobody's forcing you to listen to something. If you don't like any of the arguments, you can leave. You can tackle the arguments. That's the whole point of this. Tackle the arguments, not the person. And that's what we want. That's it. That's it. We want to have productive conversations. We want to show people that you can respect animals. We want to show people that you don't need to participate in any of this. And we're here to, protect animals, to fight for their rights. Hey, Erwin, nice to see you here. Hey, Keisha, nice to see you here too. Gia, you decided to stay. Thank you for staying, Gia. I hope you learned something from all of this. I hope you open your mind and actually listen to the arguments, Gia, and actually listen to the arguments and learn something from this whole thing. So I appreciate you staying, and I hope you do learn something from this. Somebody asked me, are you religious? AG, we're not here to discuss myself, we're here to discuss animals. If you have questions about animals, or if you even have questions about me that regards my ethical choices, then we can discuss that. But religion, I think that's something private, and I'd rather not discuss that. But if you must know, I am not. That's it. We don't need to get into it. Gia says is going hunting. I mean, Gia, well, I can't stop you from oppressing and slaughtering an innocent sentient being. If you think that's what you want to do, if you think that killing an innocent animal will bring you some form of gratitude or pleasure in your life, it's kind of messed up, but again, I can't stop you, so yeah. Want to try it? Hello. I'm interested in how you got to be vegan. Well, I was watching debates online. I liked listening to debates. I find it fascinating. I like to listen to debates. I like to listen how people make arguments. It's very interesting to me. I like logical fallacies. I like to identify when people make logical fallacies. I just simply like the whole debating scene a lot. So I started watching debates. And when I was doing this, most of the debates you could find online were vegan debates. So I watched vegan debates, and I was also, while listening to the debates, I was also making my own arguments. And whenever the person would respond with a different argument, I would be like, that's okay, I'll just listen to the debate. But in time, sort of every argument I would have would be covered by one debate or another. And at some point, it just clicked like this. And I said, I need to be vegan because that's the only way to be in line with my own values. That's it. It's the only way to be in line with my claim that I respect animals. And I think that I do. And now I do, yes. That's it. I became an animal rights activist, though, which is what I do now, because at some point of being vegan, I wanted to meet other vegans, and I went to a animal rights group, and I really enjoyed the conversations and everything. So, and the argumentation, as I said, I'm a fan of logical thinking and stuff. Thank you for the answer. You're a very smart person, says Moritz. Moritz, I'm not that smart. I'm just average. Thank you for that, though. I'm just a regular, everyday, normal motherfucker. If you know the reference. I love that song. What moral system do you use? I mean, it's a combination, of course. I'm mostly a deontologist, but yeah, but it's a combination. I totally disagree with you, yet you are so polite. Yeah, I'm calm. There's no reason to not be polite. There's no reason right now. I didn't get angry yet. When I'll get angry, you'll see me not being polite anymore. You can disagree with me, but you know, if you disagree with what I say, please mention the arguments if you ever want to. You can't, like, saying you disagree with me means nothing really, right? I'm assuming you probably disagree with me if you don't agree with me. What can I say? You eat 2 kilos steak for sure. Well, you know, this whole steak thing is such a silly thing. I'll say silly. I won't say stupid because, you know what? I come from Romania. Romanians don't really eat steak. Well, nowadays apparently it's a thing also there. But I never ate steak my entire life until I was like 22, 23 when I moved to Bucharest. Well, I moved to Bucharest at 18, but then only at like 21 or 22 I ate some steak. And I never thought, like, what's the big deal? Why is everybody all of the sudden so mesmerized by this thing? It's nothing. It's just a piece of meat that tastes like, what do you call it? Like iron, because it's rich in iron. That's it. That's all it is. It's nothing special about it. I don't know why people get so blunt, so like, oh my God, it's so good. I think people just forget what where good food actually comes from. The immense complexity of an Indian curry is just monumentally superior to absolutely anything like a steak. So yeah, aside again, like this, speaking outside of the idea that you are violating their rights, and even if you think they taste amazing or whatever, you would still be violating their rights, and it doesn't make sense because every single being who's listening to this now, if human flesh tasted amazing, they wouldn't violate the rights of a human being to get their flesh. But yet all of a sudden, any animal is okay. It's fine to be, you know, to violate their rights, to exploit them, to slaughter them, to treat them like objects. It's not. It's not. Just, you know, put yourself in their shoes, you know? There's a different species on this planet. They are more intelligent than you. And they choose to oppress you because you were born a species that they don't respect, you know? Because that's the reality. Most people respect cats and dogs. But if an individual is born a different species, then all of a sudden, no more respect. You guys want to try it? Yes, I'm not thinking you need to be smart. Just try to not exploit animals. I'm also not the smartest, but I know about ethics and my moral consistency, says Moritz. Yeah, Moritz, exactly. It's such a, and also once you realize it, right? That's the thing about it. That's the most interesting thing about it, because once you become vegan and you realize what you are contributing to it, it all clicks into place, and you make your brain all of a sudden just makes so many more connections about other injustices, about you know, about morality in general. It's just, all of it just becomes like, I think my life has been monumentally more cognitively interesting since becoming vegan. Monumentally more. It's also, since, you know, as an animal rights activist, a lot of the times you get so many arguments, so many, like I've heard so many arguments. And sometimes people just invent the silliest things, so there's also that. Okay, let's get some more people. You guys want to try it? Most times excuses instead of arguments, right? Says Moritz. Moritz, sadly so, you know, like I have heard arguments from people, which is interesting when that happens. But indeed, most of the times it's just excuses. And most of the, like, sadly, most people not only just find excuses, but I think most people, when you bring it up, they kind of feel bad about what they're doing. They feel guilty. And instead of discussing it or going through it, they lash out, right? So that would mean bringing up excuses, becoming the victim. I've seen so many people victimize themselves. Or even, you know, attack me. Oh, you're not perfect. Look at you, you use a phone or something like that. Like it's just the most disingenuous things ever, right? Like it's nobody said I'm perfect. Nobody claimed that. That's just the more ridiculous thing. Like imagine somebody fighting for, I don't know, like Palestine rights, right? And somebody brings up to you and saying, hey, if you're going to buy this product, you're going to be supporting, you know, children being killed. Are you going to buy this product? No. But imagine if somebody who buys that product often and they enjoy that product, then I'm sure that they're going to be like lashing out all of a sudden. Oh no, this guy found me. Oh no, I got to do something about it. So you start attacking the person, because if the person raising the moral concerns to you is not perfect, then you have a motivation to not listen to them, right? That's how our brain works. Well, oh yeah, because I'm gonna listen to that hypocrite, right? But he made good points. Yeah, but he was a hypocrite. You don't have to listen to what he was saying. Something like that. So no. Are you atheist? Yes, I am atheist. That's a good question, Tessa. Does anyone here think that taste justifies oppression or cruelty? Hey, are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Okay, great.
Can you come here so that you're in view?
Sure.
What's your name?
Julianne.
Julianne, I'm Chip. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Where are you from? What's your name?
Elisa.
Elisa, I'm Chip.
Nice to meet you. California.
Okay.
Okay.
Elisa, Julianne.
No,
The other way around. Julianne, Elisa.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm an animal rights activist,
Okay.
and I fight for animal rights. Do you think that animals deserve rights?
Yes.
What rights do animals deserve?
Same rights that humans do.
Okay. Do you think animals deserve the basic right to their life and their body autonomy?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Do you think that maybe there is an industry that maybe you're participating, I'm not here to judge, where animals are being stripped of these rights?
I wear leather.
You wear leather.
Yeah.
That's one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
And
Yeah.
we eat what we eat.
And that.
I
yeah.
just had a burger, so you know.
I am not a non-leather wearing vegan.
Yeah. So is there any reason, like, is there any obligation to do any of these, or are they all optional to you? Like, do you have to wear leather?
No.
Oh no, it's just I don't really think about it when I shop. If I like something, then I get it.
Fair enough. Do you have to consume animal products?
Do I have to? No, but I do like to eat it. Yes.
Yeah. So you don't have to. Okay. So we've established there's no need for it, right?
Okay.
So it's all optional to us.
Yes.
Okay. So is it moral to strip animals of this right, the right to their own life, to kill them basically, to exploit them, for something that is optional to us?
I feel like this is an interview about our president.
I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. I can definitely see the relation. Yeah.
And I will tell you that I have much fonder feelings for any animal in the world
More
than
I
our
do-
president.
Yes.
I mean, me too. I'll say that.
Then
Me
our
too.
president.
Yeah.
Not your president.
No.
Yeah.
It's not like the Dutch one is much better to do, so it's okay. It's okay. But yes, we all agree that Trump is a piece of shit. So
Thank you. Well said.
yes. But yeah, I'm mostly interested in talking about animal rights because I feel like we don't talk enough about them, and it's so inherent in our actions and in our belief. Like you said, we don't even think about them, right?
Yeah, that's
But
true.
but when we make one of these choices, an innocent animal does get exploited and killed on our behalf.
Right.
Right. I think we consider it more when you're talking about pets.
Yeah, exactly. We a lot of the times because when we think about pets, we think about how they made us feel, the fact that they're like. Do you think the pet like have you had pets?
Not in years.
Not in years, but like dogs or cats. Do you think they're like there's a somebody behind those eyes?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're not robots. I mean, they're
exactly.
they
There's
can't
somebody.
necessarily voice it.
No, but there's somebody who
Yeah.
thinks, who emotes, who
Yeah.
feels, and it's the same for all the animals in animal agriculture. That's the reality. It's just, we're sold this narrative that it's okay to do this to them, but the reality is, I think any person who sees what they go through, they end up being horrified. But these industries, they do all that they can to keep you more in the dark, to tell you stories about how they're happy on the field, when in reality, most of the times they're kept in closed containers.
Right.
Most of the times they cry when they reach a slaughterhouse, and they're killed as babies. Well, almost always. Like they never reach even half their adult life, like even half. So, is any of that something you want to be part of?
Okay, straight honest, like laid out, you're like, that's awful.
Yeah.
But like seriously, I'm not giving up steak or my shoes. I mean, like, and that's just like,
But is it your steak really? And is it really your shoes? Because like that was the skin of a sentient being,
I understand that 100%.
And the
but
muscle
I
of a
think
sentient
that
being.
Okay, I will say that I will think twice before I eat a burger.
You will think twice.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this, because if I say I respect women, right?
Okay.
But then I go around slapping women's asses, and then you bring it up to me saying, you shouldn't do that because that's not respecting women. And I'll say, okay, I'll think twice before I slap the next woman's ass. Is that enough?
No,
It's not. So why should I accept that as enough for respecting animals?
because right this second I'm not willing to give it up just now, but maybe in the future I might.
I appreciate that, but let me ask you this then. Let me ask you the next question. Are you willing to learn about what you're paying for?
At this exact moment?
I'm gonna say no at this exact moment.
Not at
because-
this exact moment, but like if I give you resources, would you promise me to watch it?
No, I'm not going to promise to watch it. We literally just got off the plane, so we just wanted to go up and down. But
The bottom line is like,
I understand where you're coming from, but
Absolutely.
I might not change. But
But what's the worst thing that happened to you ever?
what's the worst?
that's a
thing that
different
Yeah.
kind of YouTube channel.
I'm just like, because whatever is the worst thing that happened to you, all these animals have it worse. Like, just imagine that. And they have it worse because you pay for it. It's simple. It's not like, what's the worst thing that happened to you? And imagine you doing the same thing to an innocent animal. It's literally like, or even worse, because they not only that they get used as objects, separated from their mothers, killed if they're born male, sexually exploited if they're female. It's awful. It's just it's like, I understand we see none of it because that's the reality. We see none of it, but that doesn't mean we don't pay for it. And now all I'm saying, and I'm not saying you should fight for their rights like I do, just asking you the bare minimum to not pay for it. That's it. Or at least get informed about it. Like, is that really that bad to get informed about what it is that you're supporting?
No.
No.
No, it's never bad to be educated. It doesn't
Exactly.
mean that I necessarily want the education now, because unfortunately
Appreciate that.
I enjoy a good steak, or I don't eat a lot of red meat, but chicken or whatever it is. And I can honestly say, and as horrible as this may come off, but like straight to it, I'm not willing to give it up right now because I don't want to.
Yeah, but like, you
Like,
don't want to respect their rights, really? You really don't want to respect sentient beings' rights? Like, I don't know, like...
If you're gonna put it in like that black and white, then my answer would be no. I'm not willing to change everything I do right now
It's not everything, because
for that.
it's just about...
Well, I spend most of my time eating or shopping, so so I mean, and I do. It's definitely different when you have a pet, like you're talking about, like your cat, your dog, your chicken, or whatever it is. People
Yeah.
have pets of all sorts of things, and I'm not condoning it and saying that it's right. I'm just,
So it is wrong what you're doing.
I'm just saying that this is, for better or for worse, this is how we were raised, and this is how we eat, and not everybody does it. I completely understand that, but I also feel that there's a line between humans and animals, and
What
I
is
know
that
that's
line?
not like, for instance, like, oh my God, look at this boat. Sorry, that's amazing. I wonder
Yeah,
if
you
that's
can-
is that the romance one?
No, that's a different one. But you can also, if you go to Central Station, you can also go on these.
That's really nice.
Yeah, or maybe in Red Light District. I think that's where they start in Red Light District.
Yeah, I like literally had like dropped our stuff off and walking. We don't even
Yeah,
know where
yeah,
that is.
yeah, that's okay.
You know, unfortunately, at least for me, like there's a difference between humans and animals. Like
What
if
is
you
that
were
difference?
like I'm gonna go slap the ass of whatever. Like we are. I don't know. Like I can't put it into words. Probably I can't
Because there is
properly
no
define.
morally, but there is no morally relevant difference.
And
in
that
all
may be right. I'm not even arguing with you. I'm
Yeah.
just saying at this point in time, I'm not willing to change my ways because I enjoy a good meal, or I enjoy what I'm wearing or what I have. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I mean, I love that you're out here doing this because somebody has to do it. Like
Yeah,
I
but-
fight for other things at home. You know,
Yeah,
this
but
isn't my passion project.
What is it that you fight for?
We're very involved in like local politics and women's rights and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I know you can make that comparison
I'm
right
just
there.
like curious. Would you really accept
You
somebody
know?
like? Because women's rights are important. I also fight for women's rights.
Yeah,
sometimes, but
I
like,
think it's great, but
But imagine somebody, you explaining to somebody the argumentation, because that's where we're at, right? Like if you talk to a Trump supporter, where they're constantly, I'm assuming that you're not pro-life, you're pro-choice, right?
Yeah.
Same. So imagine if you talk to them and they're constantly selling bullshit about pro-life, because that's what their whole argumentation is kind of
Right.
nonsensical.
Right.
And then you try having conversations with them, try to explain the impact that their actions are having, that their decisions are making, and they just go, yeah, but that's my life, that's what I want to continue doing. Essentially, yeah, and they were born that way also. Like we're all put in the same situation, right? So what you're fighting against is the same thing I'm fighting against. This mentality that just because somebody is different, then we have the right to decide for their body. It's not.
right. I'm not even arguing your point. I'm just saying right now I'm not willing to change in that area of my life.
But can you at least get informed? That's all I want.
Yeah, I can get informed. I can read or whatever. I'm
I
not
can give you
promising.
resources, but you can promise. I just want you to watch.
I'm
it,
not
that's
going to
it.
promise because that would be a lie. I have
It's
no
30
idea.
minutes out of your life, and you don't want to dedicate that towards the biggest injustice you participate in?
Not on my vacation, no. Like I'm away for 3 weeks. Like I have 3 weeks of vacation time to enjoy and not have to worry about any of the bullshit. So I will say not on my vacation. No, I don't want to
Okay.
do it.
I'll ask you
And
this
that's
one.
straight honesty. Like that's not.
I don't think honesty to do something horrible is any better. But
That's
like,
okay.
How many more animals should be exploited for you?
I don't have an answer to that.
You don't have an answer
Yeah.
to that. Okay, so hundreds or thousands. Okay, how about you?
That's a lot of meat. I don't eat that much, but
I don't eat that much either. I don't know.
Well,
I
dairy
mean,
cows are also killed, so it's not just
which ones?
dairy cows, egg-laying chickens. All these individuals, they're females who are sexually exploited and exploited for what their body gives. And we say, well, they're different because they're not us. Essentially, exactly what any other injustice on this planet that you're fighting against is saying. But when you're on this on this planet, on this side of somebody showing you that you're doing the injustice, you don't want to stop. So at least have some sympathy for the people that you're fighting with then, because you are essentially right now in that position. I'm telling you, you're participating in a bad injustice. Defenseless creatures are exploited and slaughtered for you. So I don't know. At least do that. Okay?
Thank you.
That's fine. Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
Good luck today.
It's you wanna try it? It's not nice. It's not nice. It's not nice. It's not nice, and it's extremely hypocritical when you are that, isn't it? I don't really like intersectionality. I don't think you have to be one to be the other. But I do think you kind of have to admit that the mentality behind any oppression that we do today is linked with each other. So if you're against one, you should probably be against all the others for the same reasons. And when presented with that, you should probably admit to it. Nothing I can do about it, as I said. They didn't even want to take the resource. Imagine that. They didn't even want to get informed. Selective ignorance. That's so bad. And these type of people is why all the other people on this planet hate people who speak up because of them. You guys want to try it? Because they constantly say, well, you need to change. But you see, when they're faced with something they're doing is immoral, they don't want to change. They want to, oh, I'm on vacation. I want to oppress animals. I'm on vacation. I'll slap some women's asses. What the fuck is that? Ugh. Horrible people. Exactly. I guess vacation equals no rules, right? Oh, Navia's having a vegan lasagna. Man, I remember I wasn't even vegan, and I remember having a vegan lasagna, and that was so good. They're so good, like, because it's the taste of lasagna doesn't come from the meat. It comes from, or the cheese. It comes from all this layering, the everything everything that makes it. All the, I think oregano is added to it. I forgot. I have it at home. My spices are grouped into Italian or Indian or other stuff. So, you want to try it?
What is this?
I just ask you some questions, get you to think a little bit. But because you're with a baby, I don't think I'm allowed to film you. But you can be off camera if you want.
You do it.
Sure.
Okay. Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Sure.
What's your name?
Thomas J.
Thomas J. I'm Chip. Nice to meet you, Thomas J. I'll just move this around a little bit so that you're here. So I'm an animal rights activist, and I fight for animal rights. Do you think animals deserve rights?
Yes.
Yes. What rights do animals deserve?
What rights do animals deserve? I would say it is difficult, actually. You see, you cannot apply the same rights to humans because fundamentally they also, we do use them for food, don't we? So
Do they deserve the right to their own life and their own body? Or do they deserve to live free of our involvement?
Sure, yes.
Do they deserve the right to live free of our involvement? They do, right?
I do.
Just like you deserve the right to live free of somebody else's involvement. Right?
Agreed.
Okay, I appreciate that. And do you think that, because you mentioned food, and I'll just go directly into it, do you think for food we respect that right?
No.
No, okay. So if you think that animals deserve this right, it's kind of like a value that you have, but yet you participate in this, you're basically going against your own value, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so why not stop?
I guess that's a good question. For me, in a list of long priorities as to what are my core beliefs, I would say animal rights are probably fairly low down on that.
Yeah.
So I'm a socialist, so I believe economic inequality for me is your primary antagonist, so to speak. I think by solving economic inequality, a lot of these other discussions you will find kind of fit quite naturally.
Yeah.
But as a socialist, fundamentally the morals and values as we as a society is corrupted by capitalism and for-profit organizations. So if you got rid of those for-profit organizations and they became non-profit, I think what you would find is a lot of these other societal issues would kind of naturally fix themselves. Because as a non-profit organization is, you can then start doing the kind of, okay, as a non-profit, what is right, what is wrong, etc. and so forth, and that's how you solve a lot of these kind of
But like, do you spend your time doing something for this, like fighting for this or something?
Socialism, yeah, of course. I belong to the socialist. I would highly recommend it. In the UK, I'm from the UK. We have a long storied history of socialism. The Labour Party used to be socialist, these days less so, but there are other socialist organisations that absolutely get involved in it, campaign.
So the reason why I asked is because, okay, but when you eat, you make the choices, correct?
Yeah, but again, my fundamental core values belong to economic inequality.
And they can always do that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not advocating for you to fight for animal rights, right?
No.
I'm advocating for you to, when you make this choice when you eat, which is a choice that you make anyway, to just make the choice that doesn't oppress animals.
Yeah, but here's what my counter argument to that would be is a lot of these issues aren't for the individual. Right? If I decide not to travel abroad, right, for the environment, the reality is that doesn't solve very much, right? If I decide to
But this solves it. I know what you mean, because there's a difference, and I can explain to you that the systems that contain oppression versus systems that depend on oppression, right? Anything that you will mention are just systems that contain oppression or do some form of bad thing within them, right?
Yes.
Like as you said, traveling. But animal agriculture is a system that depends on oppression. It's a system that cannot exist without oppressing animals, right? So and while you may think you don't really make a difference when you buy an animal,
Yeah.
if you were to, let's say, adopt a plant-based diet, you could save up to 100 animals per year. So
Yeah.
you would be making a big difference. 100 animals is not nothing, right?
But you may be making a big difference, but also none at all. In the same way that if you
None to
didn't-
the industry.
Not to the industry. The
No,
industry
but-
still exists. So what you want to do is actually say, fantastic. You know what? Things aren't fundamentally going to change by me doing something. But so you need to get out and you need to go and target the people who like the industries that do.
But wait, but you're the ones who give them money. How can I target them when they get money from you and acceptance from you? Because in you giving them money, you're giving them support to
Absolutely.
do what
Yeah,
they
yeah,
do.
yeah. But I'm not the solution to this problem.
Well,
The
right now
solution-
you are, because right now we need more people to stop giving them money so that we can fight them. But right now, if people support them, we
Yeah, yeah.
are never going to be able to fight them. If 96% or 97% of people want animal agriculture to continue, want animals to be oppressed, then no matter what you want, no matter any politician, nothing is going to change, because that's what the majority of people want. So unfortunately, at this moment in time, we need more people to stop wanting that.
That's the free market.
the public
isn't it?
opinion that
But
needs to change.
Yeah, sure, but again, you need a public opinion. Like I absolutely agree, the public opinion that needs to change. That won't happen because the forces, those kind of oppressive forces, too big, too strong, too powerful.
So why give
they-
them money then? You say you're against capitalism. Well,
course.
animal agriculture is the worst part of that. It's the worst example of capitalism because not only do they get money from the governments as subsidies, they take that money, they pay some of the politicians so that they get subsidies the next year also.
Yeah.
And with that, some of that money they use to blindside you. They make the fences of the slaughterhouses
Absolutely.
taller.
Yeah.
They pay for all sorts of propaganda in order for you to be as
Yeah.
little as possible informed, because if you were better informed, you might not want to be part of it.
Absolutely.
So why even want to give them money then?
I see what
It
you're
seems like
saying.
it's also against your value of what you're fighting for.
Well, my value would be like the capitalist element of it, right? You know, like me taking away money from them, but it's fundamentally not gonna like change, just move that market. And I think you're gonna struggle
Wait, but
to get.
also
you
what you
struggle-
fight right
you
now is not really going to move the market. Come on, that's not true. What you're doing right now, what you're fighting right now for the social movement,
Yeah.
it's not really going to change anything, is it? It barely changes things. It's the same for
so
everything.
socialism.
Any injustice on
yeah.
this planet, one person not being part of that injustice would not make a big difference to the injustice, but it would make the big difference to some individuals part of that injustice, right?
Yeah, but you're papering over the cracks a little bit there, aren't you? It's a wider problem, and I'm saying like that. So first of all, one person cannot be a socialist. It's just an economic system. You're talking about like the free market. Hey, I'm for getting rid of the free market. Nationalize
But that's
the whole
not what
lot.
I said, but like, I'm just... I
If you,
just
if you nationalize that industry, you would probably find that a lot of your problems.
It
would be
won't. I
eradicated.
come from Romania. There was a lot of communism in Romania. Animal agriculture was still happening. It's not like the animal agriculture is a problem coming from capitalism. It's a problem coming from people thinking that because they're animals, they have power over them and they can do whatever they want
I
to them.
disagree. I would say it's for-profit organizations.
So
You-
what-
when you have
so wait, but
when
you-
you have non-profits, you'll find. I mean, the history is littered with them. When you have non-profit organizations, right? Fundamentally, they are more ethical and moral.
So
and
how do you then
and
explain
easier.
the fact that animal agriculture is existent in current communist countries?
Well, there isn't very many communist countries. Not in the
But
traditional
even the
sense.
one that doesn't matter if there's many communist
Well,
countries,
any-
but the fact that
yeah,
there are socialist countries, there are places where
Very,
socialism
very
has happened.
few.
And again, even that socialist happened in Romania. Socialism did happen in
Yeah, yeah.
Romania a lot, and animal agriculture still continued. And that's not the
my
point,
father-in-law
though.
is calling me, but I understand what you're saying.
But I just feel like you're trying to renegade your responsibility, but you do have some responsibility. Why not just choose to do better?
No, I see what you're saying.
Can I give you a card just to look into it?
Probably you're right. But like, hey, it was really nice. It's good.
Ugh. I'm a socialist, therefore I can oppress animals. Because I'm a socialist. Because the problem isn't me giving the money to them, the problem is the system. Fuck off. Fuck off. What a stupid thing, man. What a, like, I'm just like, people, like, you see, this is the thing. People will find the. You want to try it?
What is this?
I just ask you some questions, that's it.
Go ahead.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
You're on YouTube? How
Yeah.
many people are watching?
130.
Okay.
What's your name?
Sohail.
Sohail, I'm Chip. Nice to meet you. Where are you
Nice
from?
to meet you. I'm from Toronto.
Toronto. Okay, love it. I have been to Toronto last year. I actually really like that.
Okay,
It's very
nice.
similar to New York City, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Love it. Okay. Torel, right?
Sohail.
Sohail. Okay.
Yes.
I was thinking of Superman's father or something. Sohail. You do give out that Superman vibe.
Do I?
Yeah.
Thank
You
you.
have the strong chin and well
Thank you,
built.
thank
okay.
you.
So Sohail, I'm an animal rights activist and I fight for animal rights.
Mhm.
Do you think animals deserve rights?
Of course.
What rights do animals deserve?
I'd say just rights to, you know, and this is coming from a person who does eat meat as well, but I've always been around animals my whole life. I believe they have the right as humans, you know? Just the same level of respect you should get them. But then at the same time, you look at the poultry business and the meat side and how, especially things like frog gras, and you look at that stuff, I look at that and that makes me not want to eat. So
why do you continue eating then?
It comes hand in hand, you know. It's just something that I don't get too much into it because I don't want to upset myself.
It's just a habit.
It's just a habit, and yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate you saying that,
Yeah.
but like, you know, all these innocent animals are exploited and slaughtered.
So
for
are you vegan?
I am, yeah.
You are.
Yeah, I'm vegan and I'm an animal rights activist. As I said, I fight for animal rights, and indeed, a lot of the times, the animals that we forget are the animals that are the most oppressed on the planet are the animals we use in animal agriculture.
Yes.
For milk, for eggs, for meat.
Chickens, yes, I've seen
all of
videos,
it.
and it truly saddens.
Yeah, but it saddens me even more to see a smart person like yourself knowing that it's an issue and still
The
continuing.
only
participating.
argument I have against it, it's not an animal thing. I think it's just I'm very into nutrition, you know, taking it, and I know you can
I'm a
get.
certified nutritionist.
I
man.
believe that.
I'm
and
also a Muslim.
I can
You
see
can
that.
see that.
I can
Yeah,
see that.
yeah.
So I will go back and look more into it.
Yeah.
But I appreciate your time.
Okay, I'll ask you one hard question and I'll let
Sure.
you go because you have to go. Okay,
Sure.
how many more animals should be exploited for you?
No more.
No more.
No more.
What would you call a person that doesn't exploit animals?
I don't know. You tell me.
A vegan.
A vegan.
Okay, that's
You
what
know
veganism is
I will,
about.
I will try being vegan.
I appreciate you. Let me give you something before you go. You have Challenge 22 here. They hook you up with a nutritionist, send you recipes, and help you go plant-based. That's what
I'll
you
do
want,
that.
okay?
Yes.
It's
Thank
here.
you, sir.
Cheers. Have a good one.
Your Instagram follow?
You have also my contact there. You want to try a social experiment? Handsome guy, huh? They give you a nutritionist for free. Ask somebody. Yeah, Sam. They do. It's called Challenge 22. They have nutritionists there who do it just like I'm sitting right here, right now. I'm also a certified nutritionist, by the way. Hi.
I wanted to talk to you. What's up?
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Can you come closer? What's your name?
I'm Kimi.
Kimi, I'm Chip. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Where are you
man.
from?
I'm Polish.
Polish. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Kimi, I'm an animal rights activist.
Yes.
I fight for animal rights.
Yeah.
Do you think animals deserve rights?
Yes, man.
What rights do animals deserve?
As much as possible. I'm not into it, but I definitely understand you. I haven't eaten meat for 12 years, you know?
Okay.
So I get you. I get that. I definitely in support. Well, rights.
Are you vegan?
I think no, I'm vegetarian. Vegan is a bit too difficult.
But why are you vegetarian?
When I was a kid, I was just eating a hamburger and I really didn't like it. I started crying when I was like a little kid. I just didn't like animals being killed. I guess animal rights, I think it should be less like rights oriented, more towards like respect. You know, I'm not a big fan of like
Animal
massive
respect.
farming. I think hunting is okay. You know, I think you should be able to
Is
go
it even in
and
the
hunt.
situation where you don't need to do it? Is it okay?
Well, what do you mean need to do it? I mean, there's living a life by doing only things you need to do would be a pretty boring life.
But that's not what we're saying, is there? Like, if when it comes to things that you want to do,
Yeah.
if those things that you want to do involve being violent towards somebody else, then you should probably not do them, right?
Yeah, but yes, I mean, this is very idealistic. Like, we do live in a violent world, you know?
But we don't want to live in that world.
Yeah.
None of us do. Like, I agree that
yeah.
there's violence in this world, but if
Yeah.
it's any person you speak to,
Yeah.
including yourself, would
Yeah.
say, I don't want violence,
Yeah.
right? You don't want
Would
violence.
you ideally be then like everybody be vegan and not kill any animals.
100%.
Like ideally.
Just like everybody
No,
should be feminist,
ideally-
everybody should
yeah,
also be vegan.
Yeah, I agree with you. Ideally, I think that's just like such a far away goal. Like obviously strive towards that.
Yeah.
But I also think, I study biology. I'm big in like nature. I also think it is, natural to like, for example, go fishing. I think like that's okay.
But that's not
I
natural,
think-
first of all, and why is it okay?
Fishing, yeah, it is natural, definitely.
It's not. We use a artificial rod to put a thing in the. There's
yes,
nothing natural
because
about it.
nature didn't give us claws, right? It didn't give us sharp claws, didn't
So
give us
then
sharp
you shouldn't
teeth.
be
Because
fishing.
no, because they give us a brain so that we can, take a stick, sharpen it, and go fishing.
But even if it I would deny if it's natural or
Yeah.
not. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
But like even if it is natural, it doesn't mean anything, right? Like rape happens in nature. Rape is
Yeah,
natural.
yeah, that
we
is
don't
true.
want to do
That
that,
is true.
right?
That is
Just
true.
because something is natural doesn't make it right.
I don't know. Yeah, it's complicated. But like the whole all living things live in an entourage or like other living things, and they eat each other. I think what we're doing now is definitely like way too much. But I think ideally, like people should be allowed to eat meat, just like make it on a much smaller scale. Maybe have it just like hunting with like regulations where there's like a lot of animals. It's in
Should
season.
people be allowed to eat dog meat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
I think if you're allowed to eat cow meat, you should be allowed to eat dog meat.
So should people be allowed to eat human meat then?
Should people be allowed to eat human meat? In general, no. I think I can think. How people work on like lab-grown meat, where you can like take a little bit and you grow it in a lab. I guess if you would do that from a human, that would be okay.
But why shouldn't you be able to bring humans to life only to kill them like we do to animals?
Because I think that we are, like objectively, our human lives are worth more. Because I feel like humans definitely feel more, think more. I'm not saying that animals.
I don't think
are
humans
not-
feel more. First of all,
I
don't
think
that's
we feel. I think we feel way, maybe not more, but way more complex. We feel more
Also,
complex.
that's not
things.
true. Imagine a dog. First of all, a dog can hear better than us.
Yeah.
A dog can smell better than us. Hell has such a complex smell that they can smell layers within the smell. Like they can, when you have a recipe, they can smell ingredients from the recipe. So, I would say they actually have. A lot of animals may have considerably more complex subjective experience than us.
But then when you're thinking you're saying like smell, that's senses. I'm talking more like grief, happiness, appreciation of art. I think, for example,
Emotions.
appreciating art, that's a feeling, right?
But animals also do that.
I don't think a dog can appreciate art.
Oh, yes, they do.
I'm sure they can. Like I've seen like a bear looking at a beautiful view. I'm sure there's some animals that can appreciate beauty, but we can definitely appreciate art
But wait a
at
minute.
way more deeper level than
So
animals.
if I find a human being who cannot appreciate art, this is intellectually challenged, he hit his head, he has a cognitive disability or
Yeah.
something. That human being cannot appreciate art, that human being cannot create art, that human being cannot do any of the things you said.
Yeah,
they have
I
the
agree.
cognitive abilities of an animal.
Yeah.
Is that human being fair to be hunted or killed or used for food? Optional food.
Okay, with my logic, yes, but for the sake of society functioning normally and us just not, doing evil things, because that, no, it's a
But what does
complicated.
society functioning normally mean to you? That is sustainable?
I think every society drives towards like a goal of, right, like peace, prosperity generally,
So
right?
how can we have peace when we...
Because it's for humans, like human society.
Yeah, but like even like the reason most people claim like you do now, the only reason we should be exploiting animals
Yeah.
where we can
Yeah.
is because we are superior to them. That's what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
That's literally what racists say to other races. That's literally what sexists say to other sexes. That's literally the mentality that everybody has used throughout our whole history.
Oh yeah, but it's different because we are different from animals.
But we are not superior. What makes us superior? Do you think an intelligent person is superior to a stupid person?
Well, we are not superior, but we have the capabilities to do it. Like nature has given us.
But not everybody
The
has. That's what
tools.
I'm trying to say, right? Like not everybody does. So saying that, oh, just because you're born of the group and the group's characteristics are this, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Just
but
because
you,
like
you can't apply like you can. I don't agree with like applying like social justice, like perspective. Like, oh, if you're not racist, how can you eat animals? Because I think like humans
But
are
why
just
is
so much more
racism bad?
complex. Why is racism bad?
Yeah.
Because I think
discrimination
people-
based on
it is-
somebody
it is
what they're born
discrimination.
with, right?
Yeah,
Something they're
but
born
I
with.
think
isn't that an animal the same?
I just don't. I mean, I just think humans deserve more rights than animals. I think.
And you can deserve that, but all I'm saying is they should deserve. I'm not saying give animals the
Yeah.
right to vote. I'm
Yeah.
saying give them the bare minimum to their life and their own body, which
Yeah.
which they arguably can't sense if they have.
Yeah, no,
or
no,
not,
I agree.
Right?
I agree that fully. I would like end mass farming.
Yeah.
And all of those things. But do
But
you really?
small farming does the same thing. It's not about mass farming. It's small farming does exactly this. They
Yes,
violate their
but-
rights.
But we don't live in a perfect universe, unfortunately. You know, like people want to eat meat. It's. I know, like being vegetarian is healthy, but like not everybody can have like a balanced diet. For some people in certain areas of the world, like not eating meat is just not viable.
But you can. That's the thing, right?
I
like you
can.
can.
I don't eat meat.
Yeah, but you
But
eat
some
animal
people, you know,
products.
some people just
It's the same
need-
thing, you know. Like
I know,
dairy
but-
products exploit and kill cows.
I know, but it's just, it's not as easy. You can't just remove meat from any society. Like for us here in the Netherlands, probably because you know people have money, people have imported goods that stay fresh for long. But you know, not everywhere. Some people rely on nature, rely on
So-
animals, rely on eggs.
So then shouldn't it be more important that everybody in this Western society,
Yeah.
Netherlands, adopt a vegan diet because they can? Because when they do that, the capitalist system will make it so that people
Yeah.
in other countries
that's why
also
I
can
do
do
it.
it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also still contribute to horrors to animals. Dairy cows are
How do I
actually worse treated. Do you know what dairy cows go through?
Oh yeah, bad stuff, bad
yeah.
things.
Yeah. Why do you think they produce milk?
Because you take away the calf from them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I know. It's bad. We live in a bad universe, but it's easy to not see it because you don't see it, right? It's
Yeah,
easy
but
to
is that
ignore it.
really something you want to?
No.
Is that really your
No.
values
No,
that
no,
I
no,
don't
no.
see the
No,
horror,
not.
so it's
not.
okay to participate?
It's not, but
in it?
I try my best.
Is it really your best? Because I think like you can easily be vegan. Intellectual honesty.
Okay,
be
yeah,
honest.
yeah, I could probably.
So,
I know,
so-
but it's
so
it's
why
so
continue
difficult,
oppressing
isn't it?
animals? It sounds difficult because it sounds like a change. But if you do you live here in the Netherlands?
No, I'm Polish.
Ah, you live in Poland. Well, I have some friends from Poland, and they
Oh, yeah, no,
they
Poland,
have, there's
being
no
vegan is
issues.
easy,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just so tasty, bro. Like cheese. I know that's not a very
But you
good
can find
argument.
plant-based
I know,
cheese,
I know.
you know that.
Maybe someday. Maybe someday.
So, okay, I'll ask you this. I won't pressure you too much.
Yeah.
How many more animals should be exploited and killed for you?
How many more?
Yeah.
Well, depends what you mean, like exploited. Because if
I mean-
I always imagine I could go like spear fishing, like I would be totally fine with having a stick and like going for a fish and then grilling it and eating it.
It's pretty horrific for the fish, isn't it?
Yeah, but a tiger would do the same to me.
Yeah, but like you you just said that we as humans are better or different just now, and
Yeah.
now you are trying
No,
to use
but-
the
but we are-
justification that what a tiger does.
Okay, we
a
are.
tiger also
we,
rapes.
when I
and
say
does
we are
stuff.
superior, we have the capability of kind of exerting our influence.
So wait,
our
if we
will
have
on other
power,
being. Yeah.
doesn't that mean we have responsibility, not the right to oppress? With power, doesn't it come responsibility? Do you think with power comes the
Not
right to oppress?
inherently, because it's nature.
But bears don't have a choice. You do.
They don't have a choice. I guess technically I do have a choice.
Yeah, that's the thing.
In
like
the modern age.
In the modern age, I'm not. You don't live. You don't live 100 years ago. You live right now, right? So if you're presented with the choice and you have the choice to not oppress animals, why would you ever choose to do so?
I understand that. Yeah. If I was a hunter-gatherer, though, I would be with the bear side by
Listen,
side.
if I was on an island, on the deserted island, and the only thing I can survive with would be animals, I probably would eat animals because
you get
I
back
would-
in the food chain, like
I don't want to die. That's not
Yeah.
the point. That's not the
Yeah.
point that I'm making
No,
here. I'm
I
saying
think
that if you can
morally-
survive and thrive without exploiting animals, why not do it?
Yeah, I think morally you're like obviously correct. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just
the
humans
way
are
it's
just
been for
selfish,
so
man.
long.
It's just being humans are selfish.
Slavery, women's rights.
well, yeah.
Same.
Good-
It's always
good
been for
counter.
so long.
Yeah.
But until then, at some point we stopped. Where do you want to be on the side of the oppression
Yeah, come on,
towards
you want to be
animals?
vegetarian?
I really, really like bacon and eggs in the morning.
Do you know how pigs are killed?
To be honest, I have seen a documentary and I felt a bit weird.
They're killed in gas chambers.
Oh. Really?
That's rough.
Yeah, so the gas chambers that we did use during the Holocaust are inspired by how we kill animals, by how we kill
They're
pigs.
inspired
specifically.
from that.
I just,
Yeah.
are they not killed with like a
No,
gun?
no, no. So pigs are either killed with an They have a big scissors, which they electrocute. Well, they stun them this way. They stun them with an electric thing,
Yeah.
or they put them in a cage that goes down, 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 and they basically suffocate to death. They don't use methane or anything. They use CO2, which is way worse because I don't know if you've ever drank like a carbonated drink,
Yeah.
and when it comes up, it burns your throat.
Yeah.
That's how they feel. It just burns everything to the inside. And they scream in pain. It's horrible. It's just,
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not good.
it's not.
It's not good, but we live in such a
We put it
bad
out of sight,
universe,
out of
man.
mind.
We-
This
yeah,
is
yeah,
this is all
yeah.
but this is another reason why you shouldn't give these industries monies, because they literally pay. They use some of the money you give them and some of the money that they take from governments. One, to pay governments so that they get more subsidies, and two, so that they make you less informed, so that they make the fences higher for slaughterhouses, and so that the farmers, they create some nice farms, and then they say, well, this is all our farms, when in reality, what, 95% of animals are factory farmed or something like that, which
Yeah.
is
No, I get that. Yeah, I mean, morally, it's just complicated, man. It's hard. It's like hard to overcome like the
sometimes the right thing to do is the
humanness,
hard thing to do.
selfishness. Oh yeah,
right?
most of the time, yeah.
What do
Oh,
you
you're
think?
gonna become vegan then?
No way. I just, on a selfish point of view, I like my foods that I like. I'm already.
Would you accept that
allergic.
as a
I'm already
justi-
have allergies, so if I go vegan as well, that's like I can eat this much food.
What allergies do you have?
Gluten.
It's okay. You can be vegan without gluten. I've known several people.
I don't think I'd be
Oh,
very
being
happy.
vegan without gluten. I mean, that
That's-
sounds.
I don't eat
No
gluten.
crops and
What do you mean?
no
Wait,
farm
That
I
animals.
sounds
barely
difficult.
eat any gluten. Well, what gluten do you eat?
What's a
normal?
good breakfast for you?
A good breakfast? Well, I go to the gym almost 4 out of 5 days.
Yeah.
So then I have just a protein smoothie afterwards.
Protein smoothie.
Yeah.
Nice.
Doesn't really have any gluten, but I do use some protein powder, some dairies, some vegan yogurt, and then that banana. Wow, so good. It's just so good.
What is your opinion on? Because I mentioned this earlier. Like when you cut a piece of meat from an animal, then you grow it in the lab.
I don't really agree with the idea of cutting off the piece of an animal, but because they never consented to
Yeah.
it. But if you want to eat lab-grown meat and it doesn't really oppress any animals, far be it from me to say, oh, don't do that. I don't care what you eat. It's not about what you eat. It's about the animals, right? So if you were in their shoes, what would you want yourself to do, right? Like if somebody were to be putting you in a gas chamber soon, wouldn't you want that person to say, I don't care about, wouldn't you tell that person, I don't really care about your habits or your convenience or what you like. Stop putting me in a gas chamber. You can find vegan bacon that's good. You can find a lot of good stuff.
My other thing with that is, I don't know what it is I'm looking at when I see vegan bacon. I'm thinking, oh, this is processed, heavily processed, not natural. Like,
Yeah,
this isn't grown out of the ground or an animal. This is going to be chemicals. And
there's some, but you shouldn't be afraid of chemicals, man. Like processed food is not. I mean, everything is made of chemicals,
Yeah,
first
yeah,
of
yeah,
all,
yeah.
and processed food isn't always bad. But the thing you should always avoid is processed animal products.
or yeah, like chlorine chicken in America. Yeah.
Everything. It's just because
I
when
would go vegan if I lived in America, maybe.
But for example, bacon, right? Bacon is a processed food here, and in bacon they use what is it called? E500. I forgot the name of it. It's a you can look. It's either E500 or E501. It's between E500 and E505.
to do what?
And this thing is to preserve, right? This they use as a preservative. But this thing, it gives you colon cancer. It's been known for tens of years that it's every time you eat it, your risk of colon cancer increases by 1%.
1%.
It's not much because if your risk of colon cancer is already, let's say, 1%, and when you increase it by 1%, it doesn't become 2%, it becomes 1.01%.
One on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So obviously it's not much, but still, it's not good for you. Innocent animals are put into slaughterhouses, and it's like, and bad for the environment, bad for our society. Nobody wins in all
You
of
shop
this.
organic.
I mean, organic.
It's
You
more
mean like
expensive.
animal products?
Or like there's
Not like those fancy organic stores.
But the animal products that are organic are in the same place. I've been to organic farms; they do the same things.
like a farm shop where it's the actual farmer has put
Yeah.
it in there himself.
Most of the times, in fact, the farms that are producing for sale, a lot of the times they don't slaughter the animals on site because they need to have certain regulations for slaughtering
Yeah,
animals.
they'll outsource that.
And they
yeah.
send them to slaughterhouses, which is the same thing basically for them. And they all get killed as kids. None of them reach half their adult life. None of them. Only dairy cows reach almost half, and most animals are killed as like infants. Like let's take chickens for example. Chickens can live 10 years. At what age do you think chickens are killed at?
Very young.
42 days.
Oh dear. They get fat enough in that amount of time?
Yeah, and nowadays it's even worse because now in this animal agriculture is now farming insects to feed to chickens so that they grow even faster so that they can kill them even sooner.
Oh, yeah, that's curious because a lot of insects are very cheap. You could feed a lot of people with insects. What do you think about
I
insects?
wouldn't. It's
wouldn't?
again, it's the same thing.
Is it?
I think most of them are sentient. I'm not sure how many of them are, but if I'm presented with the option to not do any of it, why would I ever choose to do it? Like it's the same thing.
Sentient.
Because you always need a lot of food for a lot of people. Do you see like little to no difference between like, the value of a life of an insect and like a cow?
Yeah.
I think to an insect, their life matters to them just as much as the life of to a cow, their life matters to
When
them.
does it
No,
not
I
matter?
disagree.
I think the minute you no longer have sentience, this is what matters, and it's an on-off switch because sentience literally means you have the capability of a subjective experience. You have the capability to look around, make decisions and stuff.
We
right?
can get philosophical though, because some things, like a fly, has this evolutionary ability to sort of know what to do roughly, but it's a bit like a weird analogy, like a Minecraft animal.
Does algae that if you put your hand close to it, like
Algae is
retracts?
not the but it's
Oh no,
not
sorry,
sentient.
corals, like corals.
I'm
Are
not
corals
sure
sentient?
about
Yeah,
corals.
I don't. I think it's just.
Like listen, you
Instinct,
can obviously
right?
you can find these edge cases where even I wouldn't know,
Even
and
a
I
plant,
spoke.
yeah. What about plant? Yeah.
Yeah, well, plants are not sentient for
living
sure.
thing, though.
It is a living thing, but like if you care about plants anyway, when you eat animals or animal products, more plants are killed for you in the process because animals have to be fed plants and they're fed more plants.
Do you think is it what matters more to you, the fact that they suffer or the fact that their life is taken away?
No, I'm all about justice. It's unjust to use them regardless if they suffer or not. Just like if somebody sedates you and kills you, it doesn't mean it's right. You may not have suffered in the process, but it's still unfair towards you. So I like to respect these beings because we can, right? Of course, if we had to, then I would say, if you have to kill an animal, then I would say do it in the least amount of suffering possible. That's it. But you don't have to. That's the whole thing about it. And you have to be honest with this because in the society we live today, we really don't have to.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. Our friends are calling us. We need to.
Yeah, that's okay. Can I give you a card to look into it?
No
So
problem.
I'll give you also one.
Thank you.
Can you just watch the most important speech you'll ever hear? You'll both enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay?
No problem,
It's when it comes up when you scan this QR code.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah, yeah.
Promise me you'll watch that.
Yep. Good.
Appreciate
Thank you
you.
very much.
Cheers. Okay, let me drink some water, everybody, because I'm a bit dehydrated. I felt like his friend was actually a little bit more impacted by that whole gas chamber thing.
Okay, let me Google it.
Chip cows are slaughtered 4/5 years. Yeah, you know that when I say at maximum half their age lifespan, I'm just being generous about it. I'm just leaving nothing in the tank. I'm leaving no arguments in the tank. I know they are slaughtered way younger than that, of course, most of the time. But I'm trying literally to not give them any argument for them saying, well, no, that's not true on my friend's farm or something like that. It's just because even if it's my opinion is that a young person doesn't really have more value than an old person. So it doesn't really matter what age they're slaughtered at. It just matters that they are slaughtered. It matters that they are used. You know, again, it's about fairness, not about suffering. You want to try it? Hello, everybody. Good morning, says the new guy. Hello, new guy. And everybody, thank you for being here. I might need to oil myself up a little bit. It's been 90 minutes, and that just means the sun is gonna burn me a bit. Burn. Welcome to the Vegan Oiling Up channel. We're gonna be getting vegans oiling up.
but it's who made it.
Okay, we're protected. We're protected, everybody. We're good. Bow chicka wow wow. It's actually I haven't trained my arms in so long, but they're still pretty good because, you know, they get trained with all the other exercise that I train. But yeah. You wanna try it? Oop. Everybody's tripping on something here. Oh yeah. So the ground goes like, you can either go this way where it's like flat and nice, but if you go on this side, there's a little hole. Little hole. There's a little hole over here, and people keep tripping on it. Chip armed for duty. Yeah. Yep. Tomorrow we are going to, it depends, but most likely we're going to have a vegan hangout. We're gonna have a vegan hangout tomorrow, everybody. Samarth, Liv finally decided to quit meat and eggs as of now, and she will work on dairy later. Hell yeah, Samarth, that's awesome. Awesome. Liv gave me the impression that she's a compassionate person, but she also gave me the impression that she was a little bit triggered, not fully intellectually honest with everything, triggered. So maybe the conversations you had actually helped. That's awesome. Gangsta. Okay, we have 30 more minutes left, everybody, and I think 30 minutes, something like that. So let's get some conversations going. Let's defend some animals. Let's do it. Thank you. I appreciate you, everybody, who's here. If you're enjoying the stream so far, hit that like. Hit that like. You just gotta double tap. If you double tap, if you're on mobile, you hit the like. And if you want to subscribe, I appreciate you for doing that. Oh, I'm doing these streams a couple of times per week. It depends every time. As I was saying, tomorrow we are going to have a vegan hangout. We're going to have an awesome guest where we're going to be speaking to them. And then we're going to be watching some videos together. So that's going to be pretty cool. And tomorrow I may also still go do some street outreach before that, but I will do it on TikTok, everybody, tomorrow, just to test the waters out. I'm curious what happens there. So same thing as I'm doing now, but on TikTok tomorrow. And afterwards we're going to have the hangout. You don't have to come there if you don't want to. I'm just saying that's what I might do tomorrow. I'm still not fully convinced. It will depend. It will be very hot tomorrow. Today it's just like 21 degrees, and as you can see, I'm already pretty hot. And tomorrow's going to be like 30. When you talk about deontology, are you referring to a specific philosopher like Kant? Yeah, you know, my understanding of deontology, I would say I kind of subscribe to deontology, but I also don't. I subscribe to, I guess, a better version of deontology, because in deontology they say you should follow rules, but only for moral agents. And I feel like we need to follow rules also for moral patients, not just moral agents. So it's a bit difficult to say, you know, I'm not that well versed in all of philosophical views. But that's why I said my moral philosophy of choices is a mixture, and it's mostly dabs in deontology. I see some people doing God's work in the chat and having conversations and trying to get people to be rational. Do jellyfish get as much respect as slime molds? I don't know what slime molds are. I don't know if jellyfish are sentient. I would say if you have a sentient being, then just give them the bare minimum respect and don't exploit or slaughter them. Let's see, what other questions? Rick and Morty hat, sad face. You have a problem with Rick and Morty? I like Rick and Morty. Especially the new season, it's actually pretty good.
Hello.
Hi. Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Oh, how old I am? 17.
17. Okay, can you be off camera then? Because
Yeah. Oh, so-
if you're a minor, I'm not
Oh, yeah,
theoretically
yeah,
allowed
yeah.
to.
It's good.
Okay. Okay, what's your name?
Taisha.
Taisha, I'm Chip. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Chip.
So I'm an animal rights activist.
Oh, wow.
I ask people, do you think animals deserve rights?
Yeah, I think animals deserve rights, not just because we're humans. Doesn't mean that we have any, that the animals have any less rights than us. I believe animals have rights, obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can you name one of the, let's say, the bare minimum rights that animals should have?
I feel like they should have the right to live. Yeah, the right to live. I think that's just a basic human right, and I think just a basic living being right, the right to live.
I appreciate you so much for
Yeah,
saying
no
that.
problem.
Are you vegan?
No, I'm not a vegan.
Do you think that maybe then you're not respecting the rights of animals to live?
Yeah, well the thing is, yeah, just because my family isn't vegan and I didn't grow up vegan, and I really enjoy meat, but I do find it sad that the animals are getting killed. So I do always pick the right kind of meat, you know, like biological meat, the chickens that have had a
Those
good
animals
life.
also killed, huh?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's why it sometimes makes me sad. But the chicken nuggets, they drag me.
But can you
into
choose
the-
plant-based chicken nuggets? There's definitely those.
Yeah, I don't really like them, but I do eat vegan twice a week.
Twice
I
a week,
try to.
yeah.
I try to, but also I find it very hard to get my protein because I'm a really picky eater and I do a dance school, so I really have to, you know.
But let me put it this way. So you said
Okay.
you eat vegan twice a week, and let me say you also agree
Yeah.
that women deserve rights, of course.
Yeah,
right?
everyone.
I
of
agree with
course.
you, but
yeah.
what if I told you that I respect women's rights only twice a week?
Yeah, that would be very sad.
That would be very sad,
Yeah, that
right?
would be sad, very
Because
sad.
that's what you're doing now. You're respecting animals' rights only twice a week, right?
Yeah, I feel like I respect them 24/7.
Well,
But
you
the
say
thing
that.
is, yeah, but because that is what I truly believe. That is what I truly believe,
But your
regardless of what I
actions,
eat.
what do your actions say?
Well, my actions are saying that I'm trying to do the best I can, but I have to get my protein. And I'm a really, really picky eater. I really don't like a lot
But
of
picky
greens
eater
or
means you don't
everything.
want to eat something or
No,
something.
I have issues with it. I can't with the structure, with the taste, with the smell. I really can't. I will literally throw up if I do.
Have you tried plant-based meats and stuff?
Yeah, I have. I'm trying to find more dishes that I like that are plant-based. I like plant-based curry, you know, the Indian one. Yeah, that's what I like mostly.
Yeah, but like if you, because I don't, if you could find a dish that would make it work on a like if you could find a way to make it
Yeah.
work on a plant-based diet, would you see it as important for you to do it then?
Yeah, it's definitely important because I care so much for the animals. I'm a really big animal person. That's why. Maybe you've actually inspired me. I think I'll actually become vegan now.
I don't know if you're
No,
doing
I'm
a
for
bit
real.
or something.
I'm for real. Because you're what you're saying is right. I shouldn't only respect animals' right twice a week. I should respect it 7 days in the week for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's the
yeah,
action
you're
to do,
definitely
right?
right. You're definitely right.
I don't know if something clicked in your head right now or
No,
you're,
yeah, because what you said about the women and it was right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to say. I appreciate you
yeah.
saying that.
No,
but-
no worries. But I'm sorry. I do have
That's
plans
okay.
now.
That's okay.
Thank you so
Let
much.
me give you a card before you go. It will
Yes.
help you out. So you
Thank
have
you.
Think. If you scan this QR code,
Oh yeah.
watch either the minion or the most important speech you'll ever
great.
hear.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Promise me you'll watch one of these two,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, yes.
And you have there a thing that will help you out. It's called Challenge 22. They
Thank
hook you
you.
up with a nutritionist and
Of
send you
course.
recipes
Ah,
every day.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yes, you got
Okay.
me.
Have a good one.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Bye.
Too good to be true, but hope the younger believe what they say. It was interesting. I don't know if something made a click in her head instantly because she was saying something and then all of a sudden her face changed and then she said that. Maybe that was it. Maybe she actually made the connection with it. And yeah, you never know. You see, you never know what makes a connection to people. She said that thing about women's rights, respecting them only twice a week. Yeah, I think she was genuine, says Aaron. I thought so too, yeah. Hey, James, nice to see you here. Love it. Amsterdam is hell to go visit. I mean, that's for a reason, you know. They intentionally want less people to visit, less and less, because there's just a lot of tourists here. So yeah, but either way, if you have the opportunity to come, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It really is. Oh, that makes much more sense now. I couldn't see her reaction. Yeah, so ever since I had the interaction with those two girls, I looked into the laws and everything, and with kids, even if they give explicit consent, children can't really give expressive consent, so I'm not allowed to film them, so I'm not going to do that. And I'm just going to err on the side of caution. Just to be clear. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. We're just having conversations. But just to be err on the side of caution, I will always do this from now on. Chip, thoughts on pest species? There's no such thing as a pest species. That's just something it's a term we called. Imagine that. We call some people livestock, like literally, stock involves some form of objectification. And calling some species pests is insane. I think if you want to call a species pests, it would be the human species would be the worst pests of all, right? So my thoughts on it, let them be, just let them be. You don't have the right to kill a sentient being because you consider them a pest. When it comes to environmental conservation, though, it's complicated, and if it's for the benefit of the individuals, if it's for their own involvement, it's for their benefit, it becomes kind of morally gray. But I personally still would not say it is moral. But I would also not go around on the street telling people, hey, don't do that, okay? I'm here explicitly talking about the clear, morally dark, morally black, not immoral actions that we are doing, okay? Obviously, when it comes to our relationship with animals, we as humans have such a complex thing, and we have certain situations where we feel we're entitled to take advantage of them or use them or something like that. I don't think we should be doing that, but I appreciate the nuance of it, and I appreciate the fact that there's a bit more complexity to it in there. When it comes to our diets, to our clothes choices, to our food choices, all of this, there's no complexity there. If you can choose to not oppress an innocent animal, why would you ever choose to do so? It's pretty simple. The complexity almost vanishes. It's because it's as simple as that. Oh, that's a Morty line. Rabbits and boars, what? Rabbits and boars are breeding out of control in Australia. Well, the only reason why humans are breeding out of control also, by the way, but the only reason why rabbits and boars are breeding out of control is because we have fucked with their ecosystems. So right now we say, well, you know what? I don't like that you're doing that. I know I created the problem, but I also want to solve the problem by making you the problem. No, that doesn't work that way, does it? So what? Let them breed out of control. Let them kill each other. Let them do whatever. It's their right to do so, just like it is our right to do so. It's not like because humans are breeding out of control, all of a sudden we need to start killing humans or stop populating the earth. Come on. Let's apply the same logical thinking we applied to humans to all species. It's not like we are special in any way. I mean, we're just as special as any other species is. Every species has a certain je ne sais quoi. Chip, does your family name end with an U? I don't want to play this game. I'm thinking if I should say yes or no, but I'd rather not. We should try to stabilize ecosystems. It's true. The only thing is that with us trying to stabilize ecosystems, I don't think the ends justify the means. We shouldn't be committing horrific acts of violence in order for us to stabilize the ecosystem. I'm just saying. Somebody asks, what about bugs? Well, bugs deserve to live just as much as we do. If they're not attacking you, if they're leaving you alone, you shouldn't go out of your way to kill them. Hi.
Where does this come on?
It's just on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
But you girls are pretty young, right? Like, how old are you? 13, yeah. So you can't really be on camera, but if you want, I can ask you off camera the questions.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Just come a little bit closer then. I just ask you some questions, that's it.
Yeah.
What are your names? What's your name?
Eva.
Eva, and you?
Sarah.
Sarah. So Eva and Sarah. So I'm asking people. Well, I'll just put this so that people see me, but they won't see it. Okay. So I'm asking people. I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals. Do you think animals deserve rights? Yes. What rights do animals deserve?
To be free.
I like that, to be free. Okay.
Yeah, just to have their own space and not be abused.
To have their own space and not be abused. I appreciate all of that. Okay. Do you think? Are you guys vegan?
No.
No.
No, maar zeg wat dat je halal bent.
Huh?
Zeg dat je halal
But I do eat a halal. So they get slaughtered in a nice way.
Slaughtered in a nice way, is that?
So like that they're not very in pain when they get that slaughtered.
Would that be a good way to kill your friend there?
Well, no.
No. So when given the option between killing and not killing somebody, what is the best way to do?
Not kill.
Exactly. So, do you acknowledge that you can survive and thrive without eating animal products?
Yes.
Do you know that within animal agriculture, animals are killed, exploited, treated like objects?
Yes. But when I would still eat animals if they just get killed, like they have a nice life, and then they just get killed when they're old or something. Like not that they're just get born just to be killed.
But how is that fair? They're still, but they would. By the way, what you said, being born, used, and then killed, would still imply they're born to be used and then killed, right?
Yeah, but they would have a happy life, and not like that they have their space and that they can eat, and that they just can when they die on their own, and not that they get killed.
Ah, so you don't want them to get killed, right?
No.
No, so I have no problem if you find a dead animal on the street and you want to eat them. I
Well-
wouldn't say anything about it, right? It's not about eating. It's about not killing animals. It's about not bringing them into existence only to kill them, because that's what we do to them, right?
Yeah.
Do you think is it right or is it wrong to bring animals into existence to kill them?
I think that's kind of wrong.
It's wrong. What do you think about that?
That's wrong.
Yeah. So if you think it's wrong, why not make the right choices?
To what?
Not consume animal products.
Maar het is toch een geloof? Huh? Geloof toch? Wat geloof? Dat je dat niet eten.
Oh. Yeah, I think it's really sad for the animals to be killed.
Do you think there's something you can do about it?
I don't know, maybe a lot of fast food restaurants kill them not nicely. McDonald's,
Just
right?
eat biologically.
Yeah.
That does nothing. Biological is just a label they created so that consumers think they're doing something good. But why not just not eat them? You still have that option, right?
Yeah. I guess.
So why not?
Because I don't know, but if they not get killed, they need to. I don't know. Maybe I think about it.
What do you think?
I just think that what I said, that when they just live a happy life and don't get like killed, be born just to be killed very shortly after, that you can eat them, but
But
yeah,
in any other situation now.
yeah, I don't think that's really nice.
Do you think that what you just described exists?
But
Animals not being born to be used or killed.
well, I think mostly people do
Yeah.
make them born to be killed.
Yeah, not mostly, always. That's what animal agriculture is. It's bringing animals into existence only to kill them or use them.
Yes.
Yeah. So, if you think that the right thing to do is keep them alive and let them die of natural causes, and then maybe you want to eat them, then you should already not pay for animal products from animal agriculture, right?
Yes, but just like now, you can't really. Well, it's probably everywhere where people do that. But if it just changed, I would just eat. I would eat animals, but yeah,
But you have alternatives, right? You live here in the Netherlands.
yeah.
Yeah, so you have plenty of options here. It's very easy to not choose animal products. What would you call a person that does not oppress animals?
What do you mean by what's oppress?
Oppress means being cruel or unjust towards them.
A
Means
person?
being unfair to them. Do you know what fairness is?
Yes.
Yeah, so what would you call a person that is not cruel and fair towards animals?
A nice person.
A nice person. There's a term though, yeah. A nice person
Yeah.
in it. It's called vegan.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but not every vegan really. Well, wait, they don't eat animals.
Do they eat eggs and milk, dairy?
No. But if there's something, let's learn something today, okay? So dairy. You mentioned dairy cows. Do you know why cows produce milk in the first place?
To feed their children.
Exactly. You're already smarter than I was at your age. Yeah, to feed children, you're right. And do you think that they get pregnant when they want to, or do you think farmers do that for them? They impregnate them?
Farmers.
It's true. Farmers impregnate them, which is already messed up if we did that to humans, isn't it? And when the babies are born, what do you think they do to the babies?
I don't know. Maybe they can choose to live. Maybe they want to have more cows, or they get killed.
So they're not allowed to drink their mother's milk because the milk has to go for human consumption. So they take them away from their mothers. Most of the time on their first day of life, they never see their mothers again. They put them in a pen that's separate until they grow to 1 year old. If they were born male, they don't produce milk. So what do you think they do to them?
Kill them.
Exactly. And if they're born female, every year they impregnate them, every year they take their babies, and every year they take their milk so that we can drink it. When do you think they also kill them? Because they also kill them eventually.
Maybe if they don't, I think, because I think they think when they kill them when they're young, maybe, because what are they gonna? They need to have most space needs to be used, and if they're not gonna be used, I think.
That also happens sometimes. You're right. That also happens sometimes. But they also
When they're strong enough and big enough to get eaten, like when when they're really small, and you kill them, then there's not really much to be eaten because it's like small. But when it's get big, it's get like more flesh.
So the cows that are grown for meat are different than the cows that are grown for milk. They're different species. Like there are different breeds of cows. So
Oh, you mean like the male gets killed?
yeah, the males get killed in the dairy industry for milk, and the females also get killed after repeatedly being impregnated. And when they can no longer get them pregnant, they kill them. And that usually happens like a third, a quarter of their natural lifespan. Like you said, you're 12, 13, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so imagine reaching the age of 25 and by then somebody already impregnating you 8 times and then killing you. That's what they go through.
Maybe in different lands, in the Alps, in Switzerland, they have also cows, but they have better lives because they have bigger like lands to stand on, and maybe if it's not a big company or
Yeah.
zeg maar who's nice, that maybe they get pregnant by herself and.
But even if that, let's say they get pregnant by their own, they still separate their babies because the milk, it's a profit for them. They have to make money from milk. And they still kill them eventually because they can't feed them for 2/3 of their life if they don't produce milk. It's a lot of money to feed them, Like imagine the amount of food that they need to eat is considerably more than the food that they give because they also need to breathe, they also need to do all this, right? It's a conservation of energy type of thing. So it would be very expensive for them to keep them alive. But either way, like if you look at all of these farms, you will notice one thing. There's only females, or mostly females. Logically speaking, you would understand that there should be at least 50-50, right? Some 50% females, 50% males. Maybe there's one more than the other, but not that by much. But if you look at the farm, they'll have 2-3 bulls and 20 cows or something like that. So that just means that the rest of the individuals that are born male, they kill them.
Yeah.
Because
But like, I would eat vegetarian. I actually did eat vegetarian for some time, but when it's like vegetarian, you still eat like the milk and the eggs, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So you still
But-
support this. Yeah.
But what if just the animals that like chickens that produce eggs, just like because don't female chickens produce eggs without babies only when they're not?
So we can go through that. So why? How many eggs do you think a wild chicken would produce normally?
Um, I think like 5
No, so it's like 12 to 15 eggs per year.
per year.
Per year, yeah. So the chickens that we have selectively bred, in other words, we killed the chickens that didn't lay enough eggs, and we made the ones that lay more eggs reproduce, so that we get this way. If you do this a long time for a lot of times, eventually you get chickens that produce a lot of eggs. So the chickens we have now produce 350 eggs per year, right? Like almost every day.
And like normal chickens, like in the wild, when not
12
bred,
to 15 eggs, yeah. So that's one thing about it, right? And the egg is like what? Is this big? And the chicken is like this big. They lose, that's like 10% of their body weight. They lose it every single day when they lay an egg, right? And you can say, well, there's nothing you can do about that. But when somebody rescues a chicken from these places, they smash their eggs on the ground, and chickens, they come and they eat all the contents again because they need the nutrients badly, because they lose almost 10% of their body weight every day. So that's one thing.
yes.
But also, these chickens, where I just mentioned this process where they select the chickens to lay eggs, from this process, yet again, out of an egg hatches both a male and a female, right? It can come either a male or a female. The males, they don't produce any eggs, so they also kill them. But for the egg-laying chickens, the males are killed in the worst way because they're blended up alive. They're literally put into a macerator where they're just alive. They come alive, and then they're just being cut out alive, basically, with the dozens.
I do think that's unfair. Like,
Say it again.
I do think that's unfair for the animals.
It's unfair. Thank you for saying that. That's exactly what it is. It's very unfair for animals. We do these horrific things for them, and we don't need to do any of it. That's the reality. And I don't blame any of you because, I was brought up in the same system you were. You're brought up in the system. I just think we can make better choices, and that's what I want to do. I want to inform people about the better choices that they make and kind of push them a little bit to make that good choice,
But we can only really stop that if like everyone, if like most of the humanity, like also thinks that.
That's true. We can only stop the whole system if everybody does it. But even if one individual stops, like you, like her, you can still save up to 100 animals every year. It's not nothing. If you were one of those 100 animals, you would want somebody to say stop, right?
Yes, but how much do you think like a normal person eats meat, like every animal product?
So this calculation of 100 products per day comes from somebody eating up to 100 grams every 3 days. Most people eat more than 100 grams per day. Per meal even, most people eat more than 100 grams.
You mean like people eat meat almost every meal? Or like eggs?
There's people who eat, most people eat meat the people who eat meat every meal or animal products for every meal are like in the 300s animals per year. They're like considerably more animals die or exploited for them. But the people who eat, let's say, once or twice a week are kind of like 100 animals, somewhere around that area.
So like if we just like I don't know how you say that in English, but like lessen the times of meat you eat in a year or like eggs, it can still make a difference, right?
Of course, lessening it still makes a difference. I can't lie to you that there's true. It's just I can't say that that's something I approve of, lessening it, because if somebody violates the rights of a female, of a woman, and they say I'm only going to violate the rights of women once a week, it wouldn't be fair, would it? It would be better, of course, because he would be violating the rights of women less, but once a week it's still violating those rights, especially knowing that they don't need to do that. You understand that?
Yeah.
Let me give you some cards because I appreciate our conversations, and I just want you to get a little bit more informed on the matter. I think that's the most part about it. I urge you to watch the most important speech lever here. Let me also give you a card. If you scan this QR code, just watch the most important speech lever here. You can also watch the minion, but the minion shows exactly what they go through, and it might be pretty graphic because they actually show what animals go through. I just watch one. Can you promise me you'll watch one of these too, just to get informed? You can watch it with
yeah.
your family or anything. Okay.
Yes.
I appreciate you girls stopping by.
Thank you.
You seem very open-minded, and I like having conversations with open-minded people. I'm Chip, by the way. What's your name?
Sarah.
Sarah. I'm Chip.
Hi, I'm Eva.
Ava. Sarah and Ava. We gotta
Yeah.
respect animals, okay?
Which socials do you have? Do you have TikTok?
Yeah, yeah,
Is
those
this
are
on Snapchat?
This is on YouTube right now.
YouTube,
Yeah, but you weren't on camera because you're minors
Yeah.
and I'm not allowed to film you. Okay?
Yes.
I appreciate you. Have a good one. How much of that has everybody? I think we'll have one more conversation, everybody, and that's it, or maybe 10 more minutes, because then I gotta go. How much of that did you guys hear? Did you hear a lot of it? I got a good impression out of them. I got a good, great outreach. Yeah. This guy's and you show me a donut. This guy's a donut. I'll take it. I'm a donut. Hell yeah, people love donuts. Why not? Yeah. So the conversation. What I felt was one of them felt like they really felt bad about their choices, and one of them was feeling so and so. But I think I informed them a little bit. Maybe they also get informed going forward, and that's the thing we can hope from people. That's the best thing we can do. We can all we can do is hope they get informed and hope they make the right decisions. I think more and more we need to understand that this is what our outreach is about: informing them, showing them the water, and letting them get to it, because we can't push them in the water. We push as much as we can. Dunkin' Donuts, lots of awesome vegan donuts. Hell yeah, exactly. Everybody loves donuts, and especially the vegan ones. Let's face it. Is Jesus Christ your Lord and Savior? No. There you go. Yeah, please don't spam. Martin is right. Please don't spam, everybody. If you spam, you're just going to be silenced. If you spam, you're not going to appear in the chat also. Want to try it? Here we go. Hi. Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yes.
How old are you?
18.
18?
18, so also.
Okay, perfect. You have to be over 18 to be
Hi.
I just ask you some questions, get you to think a little bit. What are your names? I'm Chip, by the way.
Marit.
Marit.
Sharissa.
Sharissa.
Yeah.
Wow, Marit and Sharissa. I hope I remember them.
and
I'm
yours?
Chip.
Chip.
Are you guys from here, from the Netherlands?
Yes. Yeah, Zeeland.
I heard from the accent
Yes.
a little bit. Okay, cool. So I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals.
Okay.
Do you think animals deserve rights?
Yes. Yes. I
Yes.
think from yeah.
What rights do animals deserve?
Wacht.
Yeah.
Can you say it again?
Yeah, what rights do animals deserve?
Welke rechten hebben dieren? To be cared and hoe say that? Hoe say that? Wat wil je zeggen? Ja, dat ze ook verzorgd moeten worden en gewoon
To care.
To care and also like people to hoe zeg je behandeld?
To handle.
To handle. So sorry.
So that they're handled nicely, you mean, or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But do you think they should have the right to their own body, to decide for their own body or their own life?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's a pretty basic thing,
Yes.
right? You have that, I have that, everybody has
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that when you buy an animal product, you
Yeah.
are disrespecting that right?
I don't understand.
Yeah, so let's say you buy cheese,
Yeah,
let's say you buy
yes.
meat.
Yeah.
Was an animal, was the right that that animal decided for their body respected?
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I think from well. Hoe zeg je dat? I think. Wat zeg je nou?
I think yes.
Yes?
Dan zeg je dat toch?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yes. Sorry.
I
No.
mean, they weren't. No, they weren't.
No.
Wrong.
Oh, wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong. Okay, I appreciate it. It's right. It's kind of hard. Okay, it's kind of hard to have conversations,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm trying to get people at. Do you know what a vegan is?
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
the vegan?
A vegan is a person that not eats meat and everything or fish or something. So.
Yeah. What do you think is a vegan?
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Yeah. So a vegan is a person who respects the rights of animals.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And of course, as a consequence, we don't eat their flesh, we don't eat their eggs, we don't eat their secretions, none of that, right?
No, yes.
Knowing that you have these values, that you said that animals should have these rights,
Mhm.
do you think you should be vegan?
I think I can not.
I'm not vegan.
I'm not vegan too. And I think I'm not. Hoe zeg je dat? Ik kan
I
niet-
think it's difficult.
It's
also.
difficult, yes,
Yeah.
because I love meat and fish.
So it's difficult because you love something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it more difficult for you or is it more difficult for the animals who are killed for you?
Yeah, I think for the,
Yes.
the animals.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
should we consider, what do you think matters more? What you want or what they need, like to live?
Yeah. It's yeah, for the animals it's not good. But I don't know. My father is fisher, so I cannot speak about that hoe zeg je dat?
But fishing is the worst, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like think
I
about
think,
it,
but-
they're taken out of a place where they
Yeah.
can breathe
Yeah.
and then they can no longer breathe. They
Yeah,
asphyxiate to
yeah,
death.
I can. Yeah, I see. Not the thing so because I believe that you need. Yeah, it's on Earth.
You think animals are here for us?
Yeah, that's yeah. It's difficult. I think it's bad for the animal. It's not good, but also I think I think. Hoe zeg je dat? De wereld is zo eenmaal. Zo gaat het zeg maar eenmaal.
The world, yeah.
Yeah, the world is also. Hoe zeg je dat? Ik kan niet zo goed Engels. Yeah, I don't know how you
is-
say that. But
The
is
world
what it
sucks.
Yes.
The world is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
yeah, the world
Yeah.
is with it because
Would you accept that if somebody was to be violating your right of body autonomy and them saying the world is how it is?
Wat zei die? Yeah. Oh, sorry, I
So,
don't
so
understand.
if somebody is violating your body autonomy,
Yeah.
would you accept it if they said the
No.
world is how it is?
No, but
No.
yeah, I'm not an animal.
You are, you're human. We're all animals.
Yeah, but not an animal. I'm a.
Ja, nee.
We're all animals. We're all the same. We
I
all
don't know.
deserve to live. Have you had the dog?
But I'm not a dog or a cat or something.
But have you ever had a dog or a cat?
No.
Yes,
No?
I have a cat.
Yeah.
Two.
Do you think that behind those eyes there's a somebody?
No, I believe in God. So I believe not that we are animals or something.
So you don't believe in
No.
evolution?
No, I don't believe that. No.
It's going to be difficult if you don't believe in evolution. But if you believe in God, do you believe your God is compassionate?
Was it that compassionate?
Do you think your God is all good?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I
And
think
knowing
God
that
is
you
very
could,
good.
and knowing that you can choose to be violent or not towards an innocent animal, what would your God rather do?
I don't know. In the Bible.
No, no.
Yeah, oh.
An all good God, a
What is
God that is good.
Yeah.
What would a God that is good want? You to be violent towards an animal or not?
Wat is dat de Bible?
Beschikbaar.
Wat?
Available.
What?
No, so if a good God,
Yeah.
a compassionate God,
Yeah.
would he want you to kill an animal or
Yeah,
not?
I think from that he not like in the old traditions they are fishing, they have food from.
But that's not what I asked. I know that was happening in the past.
Yeah, so I think that.
But
God
now we
not,
don't. Now today
Yeah.
we don't need to.
Yeah, but I think that God not.
God said it if you need to. So you don't need to. So my question is, do you think God would be okay if you cut the throat of an animal for something that you don't need?
I don't know. I think it's a difficult asking.
It's okay.
ask.
Let me give you some cards.
It's a
There's a language
difficult
barrier.
question.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
difficult question. I'm not here to ask easy questions. That's let me just give you some cards and just give you these two cards.
Yes.
Watch the minion. You'll understand what I mean. If you scan this
Okay.
QR code, it's right there on top.
Oké. Dan doe jij maar.
Yeah, this one.
Hmm?
It just to learn, just to know what you're paying for, okay? Just to get informed.
Ja, waar staat het nou? Die of zo? Is this? Oh.
Yeah. It plays right there, but you can also watch it on YouTube if
okay.
you want.
But yeah.
Not now. When you...
Not now, yeah.
Okay, well, I appreciate you having this conversation
Yes.
with me. I hope you have a good day, and I
Yes.
hope you are more compassionate
Yes.
to our
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
all deserve.
Bye.
Bye.
God loves you.
I mean, God loves compassion, and I'm compassionate towards animals. God doesn't love violence towards animals. Everybody, I think that's it. I have to go. Yeah, it was a bit of a difficult thing to have a conversation with somebody who doesn't really speak English very well. I probably could have said some things in Dutch myself, but that's okay. Yeah, we're gonna stop now. You're a creep, bro, said somebody, because I literally am talking to people about animal rights. Wow, insane. But that's okay. That's okay. I'll continue defending the rights of the innocent sentient beings. I'll continue to not oppress them, and I'll continue being their voice, because they do not have a voice. And if you are not vegan, you are essentially making me be their voice. You are essentially forcing them into slaughterhouses. You are essentially taking away all their rights, and you are paying for the most violent, oppressive, and pretty much the worst thing you can do to a sentient being. Treat them like an object, discard them, all for optional products. I would say it's pretty insane if you are part of that. Don't be part of that. That's it. Don't be part of that. Be a smart person. Be a compassionate person. You know, there's no need for any of it. I don't know if you guys hear, but there's some children now who are magnet fishing, of all the things. They're literally throwing a magnet in the water and they're fishing for stuff that are magnets. I would show you this, but they're yet again very young kids. And, you know, let's not film kids. Moritz says you're a hero for doing activism. I don't like calling myself that. I don't know if I'm not a hero. I'm just a person who speaks up for animals. That's it. Everybody should speak up. We should all be speaking up for injustices. This is the biggest injustice that we participate in. Before I go, I want to give a shout out, because Tone was the one who won the last, who was the first, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not sure. It's between Tone and Draculum. I haven't looked before coming here, I'll be honest. But I think between them two, it's safe to assume that either Draculum won or Tone won. And it's a real race nowadays. Is it between Tone and Draculum who will win the next first comment section? So I appreciate it. For those people who are here and they don't know what I'm talking about, we make this little competition. The first person to drop a comment after we end the stream is the person who will get a shout out. But you know, I think both Tone and Draculum deserve a shout out, because they are both very fast, and I love the try still. I love the dedication still. Oh, did I get dislikes? That's okay. That's okay. Some people will dislike it. That's okay. You know, not everything we do, people will like it. People will get challenged. When people get challenged about their choices, they won't like it. But that's okay. You know, if you're not vegan and you stuck around, I applaud you for sticking around. If you're not vegan and you subscribed, I applaud you for doing that. I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you for listening to all of this, because you know what? That's how we make change, by listening to arguments, by speaking to each other, and by creating less of a divide. Because you know what, and I'll tell you right here, right now, we as vegans have nothing against you as a person if you're not vegan. We just don't like you oppressing animals. That's it. We just cannot possibly respect the choice to oppress animals. We know that for some people, they don't really know any better, and that's okay. That's why we try to inform. But once you know better, once you know what you're participating in, once you see it, you have a big responsibility to stop, okay? Navia says Chip sucks at goodbyes. I do, Navia. I do suck at goodbyes. I have separation anxiety. Don't take me away from you guys. What time tomorrow? Asks Erwin. Thank you, Erwin, for asking. What time tomorrow? I don't know exactly. If it's about the vegan hangout, it's 30 minutes from now tomorrow. If it's about the other, like maybe I'll go do some outreach also on TikTok and stuff. I'm not sure yet, but yeah. Banana Boy says, I care about animals, but I gotta eat them. Come on, man. You don't have to. You care about animals, but you choose to eat them. Please use the correct form. You choose to eat them. And the fact that you think you care about them and yet you choose to oppress them would actively imply some form of contradiction in your worldview, right? I respect women, but I gotta slap their ass from time to time. That's basically what you're saying. I respect animals, but I gotta cut their throat from time to time. No, you don't have to. You can choose not to, okay? Please respect every sentient being, okay? Including women, of course. I'm giving this example, but let's not normalize it, okay? It would be horrific to do that to any human being. Let's respect everybody, okay? Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Respect animals. Go vegan. Be an activist. And stand up for injustice. Think for yourself also, okay? I'll leave you with this, I'll leave you with this beautiful part of Amsterdam, but somebody was behind. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were behind me. I was like, yeah, some people were behind me. I'm sorry, I wasn't intending that. But that's okay. I'll close it now. There's a lot of people. Or that. We get kisses from strangers. Sage says, I'm gay. Yeah. It's okay, perfect. We love the gay people here. We love them. We love non-gay. We love gay. We love trans. We love non-trans. We don't care. We don't judge. We love everybody who respects other beings. We love and respect them too. Okay? Thank you so much, everybody. Have an awesome day. And go vegan. Stop with these excuses. 3-minute video in the description for you non-vegans. It's 3 minutes out of your life. 3 minutes the German way. 3 minutes the American way. 3 minutes the Dutch way. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Only 3. How many minutes? 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. 3 minutes, okay? 3 minutes. Take 3 minutes out of your time and watch that video. Watch that video. Don't skip it. You're just gonna get a little bit informed about it. Come on. What you gonna do about it? Come on. Okay, that's it. I'm starting to be silly now because I'm getting hungry. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Have an awesome day. Go vegan, okay? No more animal exploitation for you. No more. No soup for you. No animal exploitation.